The 3 Instagram videos were awesome, despite the fact of the whole ruining of the friendship and making it really weird.
I don't feel necessarily old,
Your
but
hairline does.
Yeah. Every other person's a YouTuber in this town.
Yeah, literally. I get the question still to this day. You wish you never left.
If you guys own your own business, you know that preparing for growth is one of the most important things you can do, especially before the holiday season. Whether you're shipping from your house or a warehouse, ShipStation can help increase your profitability and save time automating your shipping and returns in the ShipStation dashboard. Over 130,000 companies have grown their e-commerce business with ShipStation, and 98% of companies that stick with ShipStation for a year become customers for life. So guys, set up your business for a holiday season success with ShipStation. Go to ShipStation.com and use code WIDEOPEN today and sign up for your free 60-day trial. That's ShipStation.com, code WIDEOPEN. Alrighty, fellas, a lot of us are dudes over here, so skin routines aren't really a part of our daily life, but I got a message for you. Maybe they should be, because girls notice your skin, so do yourself a favor and take care of it. Support for today's episode comes from OneSkin, which was founded by a team of 4 female PhD-level longevity scientists with over 15 years of experience studying the biology of aging. After testing thousands of peptides, they discovered OS1. The OS1 peptide is scientifically proven to target age or sentient cells, the main source of skin aging. OS1 actually reduces the biological age of skin by several years. I really don't like taking a lot of time to wash my face or really even take care of it that much. I can hardly shave some days, but I feel good knowing that OneSkin is working at the cellular level on my skin. It's time for you guys to experience a new skin health routine at a discounted rate today. Get 15% off with the code WIDEOPEN at oneskin.co. That's 15% off at oneskin.co with code WIDEOPEN. We only have one body, one skin, and only you can choose to make it better. Age healthy with OneSkin. If you've ever checked out CboysTV.com, you'll see just how great a Shopify website is. And if we can do it, you know it's easy. Shopify is the e-commerce platform revolutionizing millions of businesses worldwide, and the platform that makes it so easy to shop on our website. If you're looking to start up your own online store, Shopify is the only tool you need to start, run, and grow your business without the struggle. Whether it's online or in person, Shopify's got you covered. So sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/wideopen, which is all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/wideopen to take your business to the next level today. That's shopify.com/wideopen. Man, you sure do know how to make an entrance.
Let's roll the pod, baby.
You want a Celsius?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, can you grab me one too?
It's water stuff. Kind of ain't doing it, you know. Need that extra.
Need that extra.
I can go grab one. Extra pop.
Yeah. That extra Zamboni.
Oh, my Lord.
Fucking happening.
All right, right now we need everyone's guesses. How long this is gonna be? Like, how long are we gonna talk? Like, when do you?
I think like it just goes as long as it goes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like over a decade of stuff we could cover here. I mean, more than a decade.
Coming up. Yeah, it's literally
Probably 2. Jake, is this your first pod?
Yeah, ever. Like, I mean, we rolled some for fun at home, but they didn't go anywhere.
All right, boys.
We're here. We're doing it.
We're really doing it. The time has come. Dude, this is hands down been the most requested podcast since we started the podcast, what, 2 years ago now?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. About 100 episodes, 90-some episodes in. Bring Jake on, bring Jake on, bring Jake on. And I'm going to be honest, bro. You're one of my best friends, and I'm kind of nervous right now.
Okay, I'm glad someone said something. On my way over here, I like pulled over. I'm like, why are you freaking out right now?
Dude, it's a heavy one just because there's so much to cover.
Yeah, that was literally what I was thinking. I'm just like, at the end of the day, like, we're all best friends, but there's just so much untold, unsaid, so much stuff going on.
Yeah, I'm not worried about anything, but I think what makes it nerve-wracking is that we just want to tell it the full thing, you know, and tell it as accurate. Like, I'd hate for it to end and be like, why didn't I bring up that point, you know?
Right,
I think that's what everyone maybe is thinking.
It's heavy, man.
All right, gosh. I don't know. I guess to add a little bit of context for the listeners, this is Jake Sherbrooke. He is one of the
founding members of CboysTV, and we split ways. What, 3 years ago?
780,000 subscribers. You guys want to know something crazy? You have more followers that probably don't know who I am than.
But
Are
I
you
guess
sure it was 780?
Yeah, it was 780. It was on April 12th, 2020.
Wow.
yeah, we've never told the story of, I guess, what happened between the splitting between C-Boys and Jake, and here we are.
Now
Time
we
to-
get to tell it.
Time to tell the story.
Yeah, boys.
Wasn't there kind of like you couldn't come on for a while?
Yeah, so that was the thing. So we're gonna get into the beans of all this, but basically, I could have came on right away, and then ended up getting into like a massive lawsuit, and then everything gets into like disclosures, and you can't talk about anything, and it just all got super messy. Like, do you guys remember the time I came over here, and you're like, "Hey, when can you get on the pod?" I'm like, "Probably August." That was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, so you've been in a lawsuit up until last month?
Yeah, a couple months ago.
Okay.
Like, it's crazy.
See, I've been refraining to even ask you, like, in real life, what the details of that are. So I'm I
We
guess
can
not. I shouldn't say excited to hear, but also very intrigued to hear the story behind it. But gosh, I don't know. Where do we start?
Well, I mean, I think we could start with, part of the reason why you left also ties in with, the guy who's been holding you back from getting on the podcast now for the last 2 years, who you were in the lawsuit against.
Doing a lot of
but
stuff.
shit, where do we start?
Do we? Because we can say anything, tell the whole story. Do we just want to like give a background of how this person came about?
We could start there, or we could even start from like just the good old days back before we were even making YouTube vids. Just kind of give the backstory to.
Dude, I can't believe you said that. I literally created a timeline 2016, 17, 18, 19,
Yeah.
20, all the way up until today.
All right, let me see it.
All right.
What do we got?
Well, they're basically, they're kind of just footnotes of key points I want to talk to. But basically, like 2016, we started CboysTV.
Yeah, okay, so CboysTV started. Basically, we have been best friends. There was a group of 7 of us. We all lived in a town called Cormorant. Cormorant has a gas station, a liquor store, and a bar. There wasn't many people in the town. It's a village. There's actually no people in the town, so all the people that are our age, we were best friends. There were 7 of us.
Naturally.
Us 4 sitting right here. Micah behind there. Ken, who is walking behind right now as well. And then our friend Justin. People ask, how did you guys start like doing the things that you do like in the videos? And I'm like, dude, we've been doing the things that we do in the videos since we were 10 years old. We just never filmed them until CJ picked up a camera because he had bad concussions. He couldn't ride a dirt bike, drift the cars, be in whatever we were doing, so he started filming it.
Yeah, that was kind of my way of getting being involved still, and but not doing like crashing cars into each other and whatever.
And I feel like people always were like, you guys should have a TV show. Like all the stuff that we were doing at that time, YouTube wasn't as prevalent. So everyone was like, you guys need to be on TV. We're like, yeah, we do.
Yeah, we always thought that our group dynamic and our friendship was something special, something that you would see on TV, and therefore we always thought that we had something. And then once the videos started coming out, people were entertained. It turned from basically the 7 best friends just doing our weekend shenanigans for fun into making a video and really having no direction or really any idea on how to make a proper YouTube video. But what we were really good at was just having fun.
At that point, it was more so we were just doing whatever we were doing on the weekend, and I was just hauling this camera around with a strap on my neck because I was so worried about breaking it. It was like a $500 camera, and we'd bring it around and just film legitimately everything, whether it was like good, bad, whatever, just.
It was just us doing us, no matter what it was.
And it was kind of like these videos were almost for us. Like it was just fun to watch, and they would end up on YouTube, and then very slowly it just started gaining a following, and it was kind of like a snowball. It was like, and then there's this little audience, and then it was kind of like, well, now we had this positive reinforcement behind it. We're like, we got to keep making more, and it was fun. It was like a game growing it,
Hey, Ryan, real quick, can you switch sides with me? My neck is so fucked up, I can't like look this way.
Yeah, I can do that.
All right.
His neck's jammed
Dude.
up from the mini truck flip.
I swear I put on deodorant, and it's not that bad.
You sweat? Yeah.
Oh my
Is that
gosh,
better?
You didn't tell me about your seat. Yeah, that's way better.
Oh yeah,
Thank
I
you.
moved the bad seat. What's up,
Welcome, bro.
Oh, this feels way better.
Yeah, so I guess it needed to be said kind of where our, the foundation of C-Boys started. People think that we've been making videos and that's, we were never friends before, I guess, what they see video like week after week. But like the things that we do now, we've been doing since we were little kids and we were just best friends having a good time. When we started making the videos, and I remember we had a paycheck come in December of 2016 going into 2017, and it was for like out of the whole year, I think we'd made what, $800.
It was like 11 or 1,200 bucks, but technically we hadn't been going that long because when I made the channel, it was like end of July, and then when we posted the one video that actually made some revenue, it was in like beginning of September. By the time it probably took off, maybe October. So like all that revenue is really just from that one shifter cart vid that popped off. And when I say popped off, it maybe had like 100,000 views. But
and then so we had to basically make a LLC to collect that $1,100. And then we didn't know what to do with it because we were like, who gets what? So we just donated it. We bought toys or whatever. We made a video with that. But at that moment, Ken was like, if we're going to start an LLC, who's going to be a part of it? And we were just like, well, all 7 of us. That's the only thing that makes sense.
Literally.
yeah,
And
we
that-
just split it 7 ways evenly across the board.
Yeah, I think everyone had like 14% or something like that. And then that was the start of CboysTV as a company, as like kind of what it is now, but 7 partners. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of where the problem is.
Well, I mean, I think
the development of something great is what it was.
absolutely,
Exactly.
absolutely. And people have asked that. I mean, I even hear it sometimes now. Like if I get talking to some old guy about business, and they're like, "How do you make that work?" With 7 or 5 or whatever. But I mean, the whole point of it is because then everyone's got equal, gain and equal loss.
Right.
So like, because I mean, if there was just let's say 1 or 2 owners, then it's like our the way all of us work is like you want to be at least have some control or
Right.
whatever.
You go up together and you go down together.
Exactly,
So everyone's got to pull their side.
yeah. So it just seemed that was the best way to do it, and it was.
From there, we started to get a little bit of traction. We're making videos. We're starting to kind of figure out what we're doing. Kind of.
I don't know if I'd say starting.
Well, I mean, we were at least on the right track.
Yeah.
And then this guy comes into our life and pitches us this TV show.
Which
Goosebumps, bro. Come on.
yeah, we were pumped though.
Yeah,
You gotta
we
think
were.
about this.
We were. At the time, like at the age we were, it was something big. No one has got something like that
And
to come in
YouTube
front of them.
and YouTube wasn't quite as big as it is now. I think we could kind of see where it was going, but it still wasn't quite as big. And being on MTV seemed, or another big network like that seemed like that's
dream.
the big break. You know, like that's like the end all be all type of thing. So we thought it was just the biggest deal. And I remember just sitting on these like Zoom phone calls, just geeking out.
Well, it started out with they pitched us that they were going to give us an MTV show. And then it turned into like Discovery Network. And then it turned into like Planet. Like
The Weather Channel.
What is it? The Weather Channel or like Animal Planet or something. We're like, whoa, what the fuck? Where's this going now?
The worst part was that we we're really close to that MTV show and we didn't get it because we weren't diverse enough. You can guess.
I don't know how accurate that is.
I
Well,
mean,
they were
that's what they
saying
told
that.
That's
us,
what.
yeah.
Okay, you're right. But that one seemed like it was the closest, and we were obviously most excited about that. And then from there, it was just like Discovery, Animal Planet. Like, what would we do on Animal Planet?
So that guy that came in and pitched the show, let's call him Bob.
I like that. Yes, Bob. Perfect.
So Bob comes in, pitches the show. We take basically like a month off of YouTube videos. And at the time, it really didn't make that much of a difference because we were a lot smaller, didn't really have a schedule or anything like that. But we filmed these. It's called a pilot episode. And it takes forever. Sucked The ideas were terrible.
Oh,
I mean, how long after the initial talkings was it that we actually got to the pilot episode? Like a year, or was it 2?
it was a long time. I'm trying to think. Dude, the problem is it all just gets so slammed together. But I'm pretty sure we like started the talking, and then it wasn't till like we had our new shop when we started filming the pilot episode.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to figure out all of that, and because we were like using the shop and the Maverick and going out on DL and doing all that stuff.
So Bob comes in and starts working on this TV show. We filmed the pilot episode. It ends up not really going anywhere. And then
This is like the craziest part that I always wonder about, but me and Ben were sitting in the shop. Do you remember this?
Bro, I remember it like it was yesterday. We had just gotten our truck
Wrapped and everything.
The Duramax. We were sitting in the Duramax in the shop. We were feeling good. We just got off some merch sales. We were like coming to the end of the year and made some money that year.
Yeah.
And we were like, damn, things are like going pretty good right now. And then that call came in.
Yeah. A call came in from Bob, and it's me and Ben, and we get in the truck, and we just set it up, and we just like,
He basically goes, how you guys doing?
yeah, like
And we go,
like a what, like a what's up call, you know? And basically he is like, oh, I got some ideas or whatever, and wanted to run by you guys and blah blah blah, and basically wanted to like come back, and that's when he said he wanted to like do something with all of us, right? And I'm trying to figure out how to integrate to like the audience of my mindset at the time. And I don't want to say it was like good or bad, but I was just in a kind of a weird headspace, And anyway, so this guy comes and basically says he wants to manage all of us, and
like pulls our parents aside.
yeah,
Like was talking to my dad and your dad and was like, I want to manage them and here's what I can do for them. And like basically promise the world, like a lot of these people do for anyone, I guess, in our position. There's going to be so many people that try and get their greasy little fingers on you to like, cause he saw something good. Because he was talking to us, how are things going? And we were like, things are going great. We're selling merch. The views were doing well. We finally were getting traction and like had something good. And he almost saw that as like an opportunity to like,
we were snowballing hard.
like get in on it. Like,
And dude, here's the thing, and I'm going to say this right now because obviously we're going to go through a bunch of ups and downs in this. You guys dodged a bullet, like so heavily.
So
Like the amount of, oh my God, I wish you guys, I actually don't wish you could experience what I had to experience through that entire time. It was terrible.
So that was after we shot the pilot episode. And we spent like, it was probably more like 2 months doing this pilot episode. And I mean, I guess I'll speak personally from my point. It was just a shitty ass episode. Like it just wasn't that good.
Yes.
I
it
think
never got picked up.
It never got picked up, of course, but it took us like 2 months of time. And I guess speaking from my point of view, after spending that amount of time with him and watching this guy work and actually seeing him work versus listening to him talk on the phone about how he can do all this stuff for us and how he's going to make us rich and all famous and all this. Then when he showed up and it was time to like get to filming, he didn't, in my opinion, I don't think he knew what he was doing.
And that's the thing, like you called it from the start and I'll never remember that, but I'm going to be like fully honest, transparent. I was straight bamboozled and was drinking the Kool-Aid, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so basically we did that pilot episode and it never got picked up. And then he came back in again. I finally thought we got rid of this guy because I was so annoyed of him because it seemed like every time he came in, he would hold up making YouTube vids. And we were at this stage. I'm like, we need to just keep pounding the pavement, keep growing this channel. Like we're going to get to this. And then he would just be here selling this fucking
What came to be
dream.
a pipe
Yeah.
dream.
like you guys are
pipe
going to be
dream.
rich. And I guess also to keep in mind, like at that time, we weren't making money like individually. Like we were maybe selling some merch, but we had, I mean, by the time it was all done, being that we had a distributor that was doing it, it was like we were really taking no money in our pocket.
Right.
Which we, later figured out. And then once you do the numbers, there's a lot of stuff you learn when you're doing this as time goes on. And then we ended up pulling it in. But like, I mean, we were maybe making like $1,900 a month individually, like all of us, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
So like we were hungry and we were looking for anything to cling on to make this work. So I can understand why you and even some of the other guys would be like please, like, yes, we've been trying, like, we want this, you know.
Yeah.
So it was easy to be bamboozled in that, like you said, I guess, in that sense.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that's good to preface is like that. I mean, I was like half and half on it. I didn't have the read that you did either, and I was like, I mean, I think I'll listen, I'll hear him out, and it at the end of the day came to a majority vote, but it was never like Jake's vouching in your headspace and we're all like, nah. I mean, it was like we chatted about it and we went back and forth for a little bit. You know, we had some in-person meetings and ultimately we took a vote.
It's a complex conversation to have for a bunch of 19-year-olds. You know, we were young and we were going through it.
But basically what ended up happening was he came back in and he said like you said, the managing thing. He wants to manage us now and manage our YouTube channel. So he's not going to make a TV show for us anymore. He wants to manage our YouTube channel and then like try to pitch us to like some other company.
Right. So this might be fast forwarding, but then we can come back. So basically how our structure was going to be, we were basically, from what I was told, greenlit for a show with like other cast members, and we were going to use those funds to then build the channel or whatever, right? Well, obviously none of that happened, of course, but that was like the whole thought process behind when he came to all of us and me, is like, we'll get these shows or whatever, or do these pilots, and then we'll use those to grow the channel and whatnot.
And you were closest with him because you guys were kind of like more buddies, I think. And he was kind of buddies with your dad over the course of time of spending time with you guys.
Yeah.
Like you guys were buddies. So you were probably more in with him than us in that sense.
But he loved Jake.
Yeah.
He looked at Jake like his little superstar. That's what he saw. Like he came in, wanted to manage us, and then it got to the point where we were like, all right, we got to take a vote. Are we bringing him on or are we not? Jake really wanted him, and CJ really didn't want him. So I felt like I was in the middle of like, I have to like sway the decision of Ken, Micah, and Ryan with these guys. All right, which way are we going? And then I just went with CJ and I went with you and I took both of them. And my gut was just like, I don't have a good feeling about this guy. And I went with my gut and I told Micah, and I told Ken, and I told everyone. I said, my gut goes with CJ, and that I don't have a good feeling about this guy. And that's kind of where everyone else was like, you know, it just doesn't feel right either. And I remember getting done with that meeting of everyone being like, all right, I guess it's just not the right fit. It doesn't feel right. And then we thought that's where it ended. And I remember you walking out of that meeting and going, sitting in your truck, and you hopped on the phone. And who'd you call? Did you call after that? Do you remember that meeting of all of us being like, it's just not gonna, we're not gonna bring him on?
That's the thing, is like my mindset was so different then, but it like obviously it doesn't change anything, but like I didn't really know how to feel or what to feel, because you know, like beforehand everyone's like thinking about it and whatnot, you know, and then like I come into this meeting because I don't know if I was working for my dad or whatever, and then you just like, I remember you up at the whiteboard and you dropped this bomb on me and we were like, yeah, we're not doing it. And I was like, oh, I thought yesterday we were. And like we talked about it, but there was obviously a meeting beforehand, which like I wasn't there every day, all day. I was doing other stuff. But yeah, I don't know. It was like prior to that, because I was been talking to Ryan too, and you probably remember this. He'd just be like, dude, like what's going on? Like, are you down or whatever? And I just, like, something felt off with me. And it wasn't that like I wasn't having fun, because like when we go out and film, like I had a shit ton of fun and I loved all of that stuff. But I felt like I wasn't growing myself as a person, as like a business person, learning things, you know, stuff like that. I just felt like I was growing this character or persona that like was still me, but it wasn't me all the time. And I just didn't want to live that my whole life, you know? That's when I was just like, I think I'm going to go on a chance here, you know, and try something different. And then it was April 12th. I brought all you guys up into Mike's room and I like told you guys I was leaving. And then April 13th was the last video I filmed with you guys at Tom's store when we all pretended to work there.
So you went to said they don't want to bring you on, but I want to.
Because the day I told you guys was obviously the day that like a decision was made or whatever, that like something was going to happen, something was in place, there was a plan, right? And like there was a show greenlit, and I was obviously pitched this grand rainbow of a master plan, you know? And I was just like, you know, like I think I want to do this. Maybe it's like the next step into like having a mentor in life, or like learning the business career or something different, you know? And like maybe trying to like compound my happiness and fulfillment and like building me better as like a person, you know? And I said, okay, I'll do it. Like it'll just be us, you know? That's when he pitched me. He's like, well, let's just do it, me and you know? He's like, we can get other cast members and stuff like that. And yeah, so I just kind of went out on a limb and went with my gut feeling, which, holy shit. I couldn't have been farther from wrong on that one, I'll totally admit to. But that's the other thing too. I wouldn't change it for the world, because like the things I learned and the stuff I went through was like unbelievable, you know? And it kind of, and when I say I wouldn't change it for the world, just the experiences I had, you know, the path and road that was took. Obviously there was some super greasy and ups and downs in there that we can talk about later, like what happened after I left and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Just to speak though, like to your point of view, like so the viewer can kind of understand, like we weren't doing that great at like where we were at. We weren't rolling in dough. We were just literally grinding and making like 1900, you know, like Jake said, he was working at his dad's turf business to make enough money to still do other things. So like it was like kind of working on a pipe dream. And in a sense, we've been doing this for what, 3-4 years at that time.
Right.
I think, and I think we actually had like 600,000 subscribers, because we actually
might be right.
We have a plaque downstairs that a kid made and sent us, and it has the date, and it has like June, and it says 627,000 subscribers. So like realistically, we weren't like super huge. We weren't pulling tons of views. So like you can't really blame you for wanting to give this a try.
We'll get into this, but when I made that decision, like it was just a decision, like I was leaving, you know, and we were all still friends, and we were upstairs. And like, I remember when you guys said like, hey, if it doesn't work out, you know, you can always come back. Right.
Yeah.
And then I made the decision to just totally burn that bridge. And like, we'll get into all of that. But.
Yeah. I think we were maybe hurt, because we were like, I don't know if we were necessarily hurt. Like we were just bummed that you were leaving.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
It was
I
almost
mean,
like
I was too, you guys.
It was almost like we were bummed that you didn't fuck with the vision. Like our dream, like this guy came in and sold you, and it was like, to us, we felt like that guy didn't have the credentials to sell you on it, and we felt that you were being bamboozled and lied to. Like, I mean, I saw it, and I do want to say I didn't go around and convince other people. No. We just flat out.
Oh, like Ben said, we talked.
We just talked, and everyone kind of just was like, I just don't think he's the guy.
Man, I remember after that meeting, I drove home, and it like, I'm pretty sure like I cried. I felt, because you were leaving is what you told us, is you were leaving to go to Chicago. And I was so sad that my best friend since before confirmation, you know, we would ride snowmobiles at confirmation together. And it was like, man, my best friend is leaving and I'm not going to see him again. The same way that people feel when their friend goes to college or gets a new job or has to move across the country. Like, that's how I felt.
Dude, what it felt like for me, this is the only thing I could compare it to, is like breaking up with your girlfriend for literally like, because you're just gonna go try some other chick out.
Like things were going like kind of good.
It's fine, but
but like, and you know, and that's like the thing is, kind of put my self back in those shoes. It's like the person I am today is not even close to the same person, which is like really good. But I just, you know, I was always having fun, and I had like this I don't give a shit about anything attitude, and like it kind of like just caught up to me really hard, you know, like I just was always like circling around myself, wondering like, what am I doing? Like what do I need to do?
Jake's like, wait, do I give a shit?
No, and that's funny you say that. Well,
Like we were saying when, like after you left, you were having those
just
thoughts,
like-
or during your time.
just like I have it. It's basically like late 2019, early 2020. You know, I just like was doubting myself. I was just kind of super down in the dumps, and I just wanted to like. I was not in like a good headspace, and I don't know how to describe it. It was such like a mental thing for me because I was like just getting pulled so many different ways of like what to do, what should I do, you know, like I have this group of best friends who are building something awesome, you know, like my dad wants me to take over the seeding business. There's this guy who's supposed to be some magical prince that's going to lead me to the promised land, and I totally like put all my trust and everything into that. I just like threw my sack over my shoulder and put my eggs in those baskets, you know, and just got straight kicked in the balls. But that's the thing. And I just like, I kind of just went for it. And then I couldn't figure out what it was. And even like after he was gone and like me and Pat were going and all that stuff, like my mental mindset would slowly get better, but I couldn't figure it out. And honestly, up until maybe 3 months ago, I've like finally started to dial it in. Like, and it's crazy. And obviously there's so much that happens in between that, but
Man, I'm happy to hear
Like,
that.
what do you mean? Like, what'd you dial in? Like,
I never told anybody this, and like, I haven't told my dad, my family, and nothing. But like 2 months ago, I started going to like therapy and stuff, and like just talking to people about like what's been going on in my life. Like, I don't know, I'll be like in the best mood ever, and I'm so good at like distracting myself from what like I think about when I'm alone, and like I think that's why it's so easy to like create content and fun, because you know when you're just out laughing and having smiles, you know, it's so easy to just not think about that stuff. But like over time it would just build and build and build and build and build, and like I just it really messed with my head, dude, you know. And I kind of in the last 2 months just like totally flip-flopped my life. Like I started going to church every Sunday, started going to the gym every morning. This is like maybe a little personal, but I quit like jacking off.
Really?
Yeah, totally stopped that. I take ice baths every day, and like every Thursday I go to therapy. And as of the last 2 months, like I've just been freaking dialed, you know. I mean, for the longest time, and you told me this yesterday, I'm like, maybe I'm drinking too much. So I stopped drinking for like 9 months and 6 days a couple years ago, and that didn't do shit to my mental health. And like I couldn't figure out what it was.
I feel like you definitely are looking the most healthy I've ever seen you in my life.
Yeah.
I went
Right
from
now.
225 to 181.6 this morning. Woo!
Yeah. Dude, you're dialed. I mean, and obviously you can just tell in your face, like everything. And you're the most in shape you've ever been. But also, I will say, speaking to your mental, you're much more predictable. I shouldn't say predictable, but you're much less unpredictable now. You used to be
Right.
very unpredictable and wild. And maybe partly the reason why you maybe weren't super happy with, I mean, you would be able to answer this, with your position at that time when you were still in CboysTV, was like you were showing up, and for one, we didn't typically ever have a plan. Like we didn't
Right.
know what the fuck we were doing. But for two, you just were kind of like showing up, and it was like, just be you, be funny,
Right.
just do whatever, you know, like, and kind of everyone was doing that. So it makes it stressful not having a plan, not having any organization. And then you're kind of like this wild man.
Don't get me wrong. We were filming it during the moment. I loved every single second of that. But it was like, I wasn't learning anything. I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't getting any skills, you know, and I was just chasing a dragon, which was like a dopamine rush of having fun, you know. And I just felt like it just kind of wore me out, because it was like, how long can I hold this up? And it just kind of taxed me out, and I was just kind of looking for a outlet, you know. And
So did he come to you with kind of like a plan? Like, listen, we're going to get this structured program down.
The
You'll be,
manager.
the manager.
Yeah.
Were you able to? He kind of gave you almost like this out, like, hey, I can give you some structure. You can still chase that dopamine rush, but with a little bit of legitness. What was the?
it was
feeling?
more in a way of just like in my mind, what I thought it was going to be was like a mentor, you know, in like a different world, you know. I could still, because what I love to do, and this like, and I will forever I love to entertain people and be around people. I'm a huge people person. I love, like, I have no problem being the center of attention.
You're a people pleaser. Yeah, you like making people laugh.
Yeah, that's the thing. And like, I love that. And don't get me wrong, like that is part of who I am, but I wanted to have this like other part, you know, is what I'm saying. Like I couldn't just live that, like, and obviously you guys know we go to Zorba's, and even if there's no cameras, like I stood up on the table for Micah and I'm like, hey, everyone sing Micah happy birthday. Like, I love that stuff.
Yeah. What you were going to do with that guy in that show, you were kind of still doing the same role though as what you were doing here. Like you show up, you be funny, you be crazy, maybe you do whatever, like it might be a jump that day or whatever the hell. But did you feel like it was more of like, all right, like I got the time, the clock's ticking. I either need to go with the seating business or make something happen now. Do you think that like there was like a clock weighing on you?
In a way, yes, but I just like I felt like if I was on that path, maybe it would like strike me into like learning more than just doing that too, you know? Like obviously there is like an evolvement of everything, just like how this has evolved. Like this is nuts, you know? Like when I left, like this facility didn't exist and you guys have just straight evolved the channel, you know? And like I just thought it would evolve me into becoming like a better business person, or maybe a different career line would open up. But I just thought it was like a doorway to something else, you know? And I just put my full trust in that.
You know what though, Jake? I truly believe that if you wouldn't have left when you did and made the decisions that you did, none of this would be here. And you had to go your own way because like at the end of the day, you just felt like you had to be your own leader, like make your own decisions. And honestly, in like the way that us five operate is like, there's really no one person calling the shots, or like we all kind of work together, but like since day one, have always kind of been like the Lone Ranger, like felt more beat to your own drum, or what is it? Go to your own.
He does what he wants. Like I remember some days we'd be, you know, filming. I'd be like, I don't know if Jake's coming today. Like it looks like he's at home playing PS4. Like, you know.
Yeah, no, and it's I think you're right in the way of I definitely am that way for sure now, and you know, I think I wanted to then, but I just didn't have anyone to like teach me to be like that, you know. And obviously it gets like kind of emotional and stuff because, you know, you always like, it's so crazy. I get the question still to this day, you know. Everyone's like, do you wish you never left, you know? And like I look at all you guys, you know, and I think about it, and I have only one answer, and it's not yes or no. The way I did, absolutely not. I wish I never did that, you guys. Like when I like burned all the t-shirts and shit like that's pretty, like, I don't know. It wasn't cool. And I feel super bad. And like the reason I did that is I was making like a business decision in a way. And a problem with it is like I was doing that decision off of emotions, you know, like that's literally the feeling and reason of why. And I'm not going to say this person's name because 3 weeks ago he came up to me in Zorba's and actually apologized for this.
Really?
And it was one of your guys' friends' bachelor parties.
Oh yeah.
And anyways, it was just like the end of the night, and you know, I was like still hanging out with you guys, but I was gone. I already went to Chicago and back, and I was sad. I didn't know who I was. I was just a lost puppy, you know. And anyways, I just start getting lit up in the parking lot, you know, and I just didn't know what to do.
Like what do you mean by lit up?
Verbally.
Saying like, why are you here?
Yeah, like, why are you here? Like, you abandoned these guys, shit like that. And I'm just like, dude, I'm just trying to hang out, you know. And like, it was kind of awkward because everybody was a little messed up too. And like, it felt super weird. And like, obviously it's totally different times that I was just like, no one kind of said anything, you know. And like, I just kind of looked around and I just like got in my truck and went home. And the next morning when I woke up, I just like chose violence. Like
Yeah.
I was sad and it turned to anger.
Yeah. So to preface, that was an acquaintance or a friend of like
Of a
not
friend of a
anyone
friend,
in
yeah.
in our C-Boys group, but
Yeah.
okay, I know who
and
you're
that's
talking about.
and
now.
that's
Yeah.
when I say like I let my emotions make a decision
Yeah.
that I totally shouldn't have made, you know.
And I almost think we need to slightly back up, but during that time then, so we were actually in kind of a legal battle with each other.
Yeah.
Because so Jake ended up leaving C-Boys, and in order to, you know, actually leave the company, which he wanted his name off the company because otherwise he would be liable for if something went wrong.
Right.
And we wanted his name off the company because we're trying to build something, and it's like we don't want him to, you know, if you're not going to be here with us doing it, then you can't be, you know, an owner in this. And Jake, we gotta give a huge, like, I mean, thank you to you because, I mean, I remember from the first day when you said, I'm going to leave, you know, obviously we were shocked, but you said, I don't want any money. Like, I don't want anything. Like, I'm not trying to get money. I just cut me out of the, like, I'm going this way. I don't want to whatever. Which we really didn't have. Also, on
Right.
top of that, we didn't really have much money. We were
No.
renting a shop, and I think we had an RS1.
Yeah,
was
and
a
that's
good
the thing.
one.
Like, I truly did like want to see you guys like flourish at the time when I told you, know. And it's funny, it's
Yeah.
ironic. I'm like, I don't want $1. Well, the minimum buyout's $1. So
Yeah.
I got that bitch framed up in my office.
Yeah,
and I actually was gonna bring it in, but I
that
forgot.
should have been
Yeah.
funny. But so before you left to go to Chicago, we had Jake sign a thing just saying, I will sell my shares of the company for $1. So we basically did it. We just hadn't, I don't know if we gave you the dollar yet or what we did, but you know, whatever. So it was like basically a done deal on paper.
Right.
And the reason why we did that right then and there was because we were worried that when you went and got with this new manager, as soon as he gets involved in trying to do this separation, he's going to try and just take us for everything.
To the cleaners.
Because, which, I mean, he kind of ended up doing with you later on. Obviously, we'll get to that
Yeah.
part in the story, but we were kind of saw that one coming. So we were trying to protect ourselves. And
As
you
you
were
should have.
you were very nice and easy about it. You signed it, didn't think twice. And, you know, just because you weren't trying to obviously jam us up. So I do appreciate that. All of us do appreciate that because that
100%.
honestly saved, I think, all of this because I really don't, I think if you wouldn't have signed that thing, that document, selling it for $1 or, you know, just
Whatever.
Cutting
it
your
was.
shares
Yep,
off?
Yep.
I think that he would have just, you know, as he later on did, and as he had done in the past, would have taken it to court, stretched it out, and just basically try to bleed us dry, and we would have ultimately had to fold. You know, it would have crumbled, I think, what we had at that time. So yeah, I mean that was huge. But anyways, I think there was when that guy chewed you out in the Zorbis parking lot, although we were like hanging out, I think there was an animosity to us all because we were trying to still do this separation, but your manager was like dragging it out. Like he
Right.
purposely was like dragging it out, and we had to keep paying lawyers, and we didn't have money for that. So it was like we were
And we couldn't buy the shop. We were moved into the shop. We couldn't buy it because we
Yeah.
were still on the
we
business.
couldn't get a loan, and I think he knew that. I don't know if you knew that.
If you guys own your own business, you know that preparing for growth is one of the most important things you can do, especially before the holiday season. Whether you're shipping from your house or a warehouse, ShipStation can help increase your profitability and save time automating your shipping and returns in the ShipStation dashboard and keep costs down with industry-leading carrier discounts while your holiday orders roll in. It is so dang easy to use ShipStation. We integrated it into our business a few years ago, and we seriously could not fulfill all the orders that we do without it. We have a new merch shop coming up on the 24th, so there'll be an influx of orders. Thankfully, ShipStation is helping us out by getting the industry-leading discounts on carrier rates, and then we can take those savings and pass them on to you guys to save you money. If you're looking overall your shipping game for your brand, they have a free 60-day trial, so it literally costs nothing to try out ShipStation. Over 130,000 companies have grown their e-commerce business with ShipStation, and 98% of companies that stick with ShipStation for a year become customers for life. So guys, set up your business for a holiday season success with ShipStation. Go to ShipStation.com and use code WIDEOPEN today and sign up for your free 60-day trial. That's ShipStation.com, code WIDEOPEN. Alrighty, fellas. A lot of us are dudes over here, so skin routines aren't really a part of our daily life, but I had got a message for you. Maybe they should be, because girls notice your skin, so do yourself a favor and take care of it. Support for today's episode comes from OneSkin, which was founded by a team of 4 female PhD-level longevity scientists with over 15 years of experience studying the biology of aging. After testing thousands of peptides, they discovered OS1. The OS1 peptide is scientifically proven to target age or sentient cells, the main source of skin aging. OS1 actually reduces the biological age of skin by several years. I really don't like taking a lot of time to wash my face or really even take care of it that much. I can hardly shave some days, but I feel good knowing that OneSkin is working at the cellular level on my skin. It's time for you guys to experience a new skin health routine at a discounted rate today. Get 15% off with the code WIDEOPEN at oneskin.co. That's 15% off at oneskin.co with code WIDEOPEN. We only have one body, one skin, and only you can choose to make it better. Age healthy with OneSkin.
You remember doing a Zoom meeting?
Yeah.
Having a legal, like,
You were
Yeah,
pissed.
with
I
lawyers.
remember that.
yeah,
Yeah.
dude. I like, oh my God. It was ridiculous.
I could tell on your face that you were already fed up of his shit.
No,
because
he's pissed at us after this. I remember that.
Oh, you were
That's
mad at
when
us?
That's when it flipped.
Yes.
That's when it.
So
flipped.
like,
maybe I
what
wasn't on
happened?
that.
No. So what happened was like, I don't know if that was before or after, but basically like I just wanted like a clean rip, just as you guys did. Like I just wanted nothing to happen. And then like when all these documents get sent over, and you got someone in your ear like, hey, look at this, and this, and this, and I'm like, huh, maybe like. Maybe these guys are trying to do it like a dirty on me, you know. And then obviously now I'm just like, well, I got to have my own team over here, you know.
Yeah.
Like, and
That's why you should never get lawyers involved in anything.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, you just had the wrong people in your ear, obviously. Which-
obviously.
But yeah, going back, so that kind of started to create this animosity to all of us. Like, obviously, we went from this is a clean break to now I think there was some frustration involved
Muddied waters.
out of both parties, because it was, I mean, at that time it was very hard on us because during that time none of us were getting paid. So we were like, I think we went, I mean, fuck, like 7 months, 6 months,
yeah.
And like I just remember having like we would kind of like get, I guess we'd get a little bit of paychecks, but I remember like it was always like I had less than $1,000 in my bank account the whole time, and we were posting all these videos, and it was kind of starting to take off, which almost leads into another point. When you left, there was so many people that were like in the area, and obviously our subscribers as well, that thought, oh, they're done. Jake left. Like I legit had people, like I remember one time I was at, I was eating dinner with my girlfriend's dad, and they had a bunch of other people, and this guy, he was just like so rude to me. He was like, so what are you gonna do now that Jake left you? I was like, like what? I'm just gonna keep on going. Like we're gonna
doing
keep
my
making
thing,
videos.
yeah.
And I think a lot of people thought, oh, they're done because Jake left. He's the star, and it lit a fire under our ass for one, but then for two, it made us reconsider and relook at everything we were doing in the business, and we dialed it in. We started, you know, just from really the ground up, we started looking at everything, like how are we making these videos? Like we would schedule out things, you know, and started planning and working on the thumbnails, just literally everything, because we were trying to
Becoming strategic.
Yeah,
and
we
really
became
looked at
very
all the stuff.
strategic.
Yeah.
Well,
we had to
and
be.
like failure, like
was not.
if those people would have been right,
Yeah.
it would have been a bad. Like that was everything we could do to prove those people wrong. Like we were so fired up.
That's
just
like the
because
coolest
of how
part.
many people were telling us that we were so fucked without you.
Dude, that's the thing, and I love, and here's the crazy part, and it's kind of a good spot to bring this up, and then we can continue. But coming back to when we were all together, do you guys remember being outside the shop? I don't know, it's just like a random day. We were all sitting around a fire pit, and like we were just having a fun, stereotypical weekend, you know, and we were all like arms around each other, like, this is awesome, we're gonna do it. And like one day, or Ben said, you know, guys, one day we're all gonna have our dream cars, and I'm gonna own a Lamborghini. And the day I was stuck in the trunk of that other car and I heard a Lambo pull up, you know what the first thing I said was? He fucking did it. And then it was help. Yeah. But no, I literally like when I heard that thing come in, I literally just remember staring at all you guys and Ben saying that, and I'm just like, he did it. Like, and it was cool because like, I don't know if you guys know this. You know how cool it's been from like the outside perspective, watching you guys grow. Like, it's weird being a part of something, taking yourself out of that, and just watching that thing climb to the top. It is the coolest thing in the world. Just like seeing the evolvement and like, because when you're in it, you know, you're going just like 200 miles an hour, and you guys kind of don't realize like how fast it's going, you know, and like just time blows by, and you know, you just like watch this thing in like a matter of years just turn into a staple, an icon, like only a one of a kind in the entire area, which is like the coolest thing in the entire world to me. Like I loved it, every second of it. It's crazy.
I think that goes to show like all the other outside people that were going on during this, just like that fight outside of whatever bar, you know, where that guy was yelling. It was all the outside people that really caused the problem. We all wanted to be good. You wanted a clean exit. We wanted a clean exit. We wanted to get back to work. You wanted to get to work on what you're doing. It was everybody else that tries to stick their either hands for money or their opinion and stuff like that into a situation that can really be the downfall. It probably where some of that animosity that was created from us to you and you to us wasn't what we were saying to each other. It was what other people told us we should be feeling, or what other people told us that they'd heard, or what people said, no, this is how you should feel, or, oh, he's gonna do this. Like the lawyers, oh, he's gonna try to take you for this. You got to put this language in. And I think that really goes to show that what we were is such, and what we are is such good friends that we just wanted to do our own thing, but it's the other people who don't understand the situation that can really muddy the waters.
Yeah, it got like,
Dude, when you burnt those shirts,
People were like hating on us.
People were hating on us. We got so much hate. Everyone was on your side. And the worst part was like the local people that always said we were going to fail. And they were commenting and reposting that.
Yeah.
And then I truly saw like who had our back. And I still remember exactly who did it and who didn't.
Yeah.
So that sucks for the people around the area. But I remember that. And I straight up had like a breakdown. Then the next morning, I was literally sitting in my parents' kitchen crying, being like, my best friend did this to me and my other friends. Everything was just like come crumbling down. And that was like the moment, like at the lowest. I think that was like the rock bottom of like all of like everything that happened. Like that was like
it.
That was it.
Yeah.
And then everything built from there.
Yeah.
Obviously it got better, but
that was a banger though. Like when you dropped that burning, like that was like I remember when you dropped that,
dude.
I was like, holy fuck, they got some serious production. Like this is a great story. They got fucking Morgan Freeman doing
what was up with that?
Like I
you
was
guys
just
want
like,
to know
Is
something?
that really
it's an
Morgan
AI,
Freeman?
isn't it?
No, that was literally had nothing to do with that. That was me and Zach Hovde.
Yeah.
That was it. And
Where'd you get the Morgan Freeman?
So that's the thing. AI wasn't out yet. We were
Yeah.
21 years old. AI wasn't out, right? And anyways, I was watching a YouTube video, and it was Morgan Freeman telling all the memes of 2021. I'm like, man, I can't believe what year? 2020. And I'm like, man, this is hilarious. Why would Morgan Freeman do this? I scroll down. It's a guy who does voice reenactments.
No way.
No way.
And
It wasn't
I-
even Morgan Freeman?
Yeah, and I literally like email him. I'm like, if you can say these words, I will pay you as much as you want. I need this by tomorrow.
Yeah.
And he goes, done.
It
And
sounded so good.
yeah, and the funny part is though, you guys, like right away, right after that, Karma just kicked me in the balls so fast because my first video wearing like Viking costume.
Can you
Oh
please?
my God.
Can we get a copy of that?
No,
Can we please get a copy of that?
forever. It will never be seen.
Bro, that shit. So before that, though,
Oh.
that was where it shifted. You had everyone on your side, I think, because you were
100%.
a major fan favorite. And I think a lot of people were like, CboysTV still doing their thing, but when Jake comes out with his, he's gonna be crushing it. Like he is gonna blow us out of the water. And then you drop that burning the merch thing, and I was like, damn, like they actually can all of a sudden make videos. Because I was like, I didn't think this guy could do shit all along, but I guess we were wrong. I'm like, oh fuck, because I'm getting nervous. The manager,
Bob didn't have anything to do with
Whenever we say
Makes sense.
it. Yeah, I did that.
whenever we say Bob's real name, just put a beep because otherwise it's gonna sound
Yeah,
weird.
I got it. Good idea.
And you can leave that in, but I remember thinking that, and I remember like, oh fuck, and then you guys end up finishing up. It's like we finally come to the agreement. You get your name off the company, and keep in mind, I guess you had probably been not posting videos or doing anything online now for what, like a year?
Literally, it was
Like this guy took a year. Like he didn't just come out. Like it took him a year to make one YouTube video, and he comes out with your fucking first video.
Dude, what was up with that? What, like,
you guys.
when that
was,
You don't understand.
you guys can imagine how the pilot episode was if you've ever seen it.
Okay, you guys. Here's the thing. Coming back to what you said, and then yes, like with that momentum, I probably could have just came out of the gate so hard, and it just slapped me in the face so bad.
Well, you guys premiered it too, so you were watching it.
Oh, and
live.
I was
So the live
watching
comments.
the live comments, and I was just like,
because everyone was.
close
It
the
was
computer.
just ripping.
Oh,
what were they?
I was watching them too because I had my broken foot at the time, so I was all rested up. And I mean, keep in mind, you've been like promoting for a year. Like I'm coming out with this channel and all this. So,
Dude,
like,
that's the thing.
well,
If
we're
we would have
thinking-
just came out doing something, like the 3 Instagram videos were awesome. Like,
Yeah.
and
It was-
despite the fact of like the whole ruining of the friendship and making it really weird from the outside viewership, it created like just some
This hype.
drama and hype, and it was sick, right?
Yeah, I
we
think
just dropped the ball on
to
delivery.
CJ's point, you had the catapult loaded, full as it can be, ready to launch
And it was
whatever
just
you want, as long as
feathers.
it's awesome.
Dude.
So-
So we were
so
out.
talk-
We were out. Like drinking that night because we were like, Jake's dropping his video tonight, and I was like, God, I don't even want to watch this. I figured it was gonna just be like, just shitting on us, ripping all of us apart, like all these different things, right? And then CJ texts, "Yo, you guys gotta go and watch Jake's new
I
video."
saw- I
and I
can
was like,
just
"I
hear it.
can't, dude. I literally can't. I'm not trying to ruin my night. I'm trying to have a good time." And he's like, "Believe me, it's worth the watch." And we get back to Tint's house, and we all put it on, and we watch it. And I shit you not, everyone was like this. And then it got done, and it was just silent. And we go. Then I was like, "Holy fuck."
We're good.
Well, it was like, dude, it was like the whole momentum shift of like us getting shit on for like the past year, and I'm not gonna lie, it felt kind of nice.
Just
and I was just like, oh my god, this guy is a flop. Like,
Yeah.
not you,
I get what
manager.
you're saying. Yes,
And we were
no,
like,
you're fine.
we had a feeling, and then that
So,
it proved. So what? He got in there.
what
and
was
he
going
like,
on
he was
your
like,
side?
He was like, "Here's a great idea," and you were just like, "Okay."
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Like, as being 21, 22, like, so heavily influenced, and I just put all my trust on him. And at this point, I'm like, I'm all in. I can't change.
gonna
Like,
do?
well, like, what am I gonna do? Like, I already had those other 3 videos up. There's nothing I can do at this point. I'm like, let's roll it. You know, get the Viking costumes out.
Yeah, the Vikings costumes, bro.
And the what are they?
when you break the tripod,
Yeah,
you go,
the
fuck
look-
this thing. And
Yeah,
it's like just
dude.
broke a $25
The
tripod
tripod.
and threw it in the field. You put that in the intro. That guy, dude.
But yeah, anyways, so I don't, dude. I can't help but
I'm
laugh
sorry,
right now.
I'm sorry.
It just reminded me of something like when you were doing it, we're like, is he being held hostage? Because why else would he make content like this?
Yeah. What's up, bro?
Oh, hey, Cody.
Dude, so you had to have watched that and just been like, we're fucked.
No, literally.
So,
I was-
I want to know what was going on your
Okay.
side. How'd we get there?
So how we got there. So basically, like, how it became about or whatever. So, okay, as I was told, like, there was a show that was greenlit, right? So we got to maybe give some context. So right after I left the boys, I ended up moving to Chicago for, 3 months maybe? It was like a summer.
The whole summer, yeah.
Yeah, basically the whole summer. And I maybe came back like 2-3 times. And I'm like, dude, we're not doing anything. I called my dad. I'm like, come fly down here and pick me up. And it was like 4 hours. He's like, all right, cool. So anyways, like the time I was down there, so like I left you guys, right? And at this time, I'm like thinking, all right, I got this. We got a plan. I fly down there. I didn't have any. I like literally took my clothes and a one wheel, and like that's how I got around down there or whatever. And like I get to his house, and like at this point, I was like super drinking the Kool-Aid because like his house was pretty cool for what it was, right? And I like come in, I'm like, all right, so maybe this guy knows what he's doing, and obviously it's a whole different story. But anyways, we start like getting to work down there, right? Like making t-shirt designs and stuff like this, and like he starts showing me a couple designs, and I was like, that is subpar. Like that's bad, right?
Really?
And I'm like, we need to change this up a little bit, right? So like finally dial in some t-shirts, whatever, and now we're
Which is exactly what you need before making any content.
right.
You need some t-shirts to sell to the people.
All bass backwards here. But I'm just rolling with the punches, I'm following his lead on this one. I'm in it. Like I'm gonna do this new milestone in my life, I'm trying something totally different. And so like we're working down there, and working on like other show pitches and stuff that was like going on. He's like, yeah, I just got to wrap up like these 2 projects or whatever. And then he's like, we'll get to work on some stuff. And I was there for like maybe a week, 2 weeks. And we maybe did like 3 things that had to deal with me. Otherwise I was like pressure washing his roof. And like, I'm like, I'm doing manual labor over
I'm
here.
not even getting paid for this shit.
You straight up pressure wash his
I
roof?
have Snapchats of me pressure washing his roof, and I totally bet I can send you guys all that. Like I literally like did edging, did this, did that. I'm like, wow. I'm like,
What's going on here?
Next thing you know, you're wearing a little uniform.
You're doing other people's lawns too?
yeah, dude. Oh my god. Anyway, so like, start doing yard bitch for a bit, right? So like, I'm playing this role. I'm like, all right, cool, it's whatever. And I don't remember if it was like 4th of July coming up or something was coming up, and my dad like flies down, gets me, go home, and he's like, how is it? I'm like, pretty good. He's like wrapping up some other projects and stuff and whatever. I'm like, yeah, but I had to like clean up his house and stuff like that because he was like selling it at the time or whatever. And he's like, just give it time, whatever, like,
Yeah.
stay
You
true to
figure
it. Yeah, you'd figure that like something's gonna happen, and he's staying positive about it, and he's like, all right, drops me off, and go on DL and hang out with friends and have fun, whatever. And
Punch a washing machine.
oh my god, I forgot about that. I so forgot about that till you just said that. Whose house was that at?
Dude, I don't know. We shouldn't mention it.
What
Oh
happened?
my!
We were just talking, me and you. It was the first time that we'd seen each other in like 2 months, and it got kind of heated, and you punched a washing machine.
Not at our house.
We were at
What
a
were
party.
you guys saying again?
No, we were just chopping it up, and then things got like kind of escalated, and I was like, "What are you doing down there?" And I must have struck a soft spot with him. He thought about cleaning that roof, and he punched the fucking washing machine.
Yeah, no, I totally forgot about that till you brought that up. That's kind of funny.
sorry,
No,
carry
it's all
on.
right. All right. Anyway, so I go back, and anyway, so like basically the whole time we're down there, we're just working on like merchandising stuff. Like the whole time we're down there. Like obviously we're
Like how many hours a day, just out of curiosity?
what felt like all day every day. Probably only like a couple hours here and there because we're out doing other stuff because he's got these other unwrapped up projects, bro.
I remember how he works.
Yeah, you know
You're just-
exactly.
You're just doing nothing, but he's taking a lot of time.
Hamster wheeling it.
Yep.
Bro. Yeah. It's so hard when you like just put your full trust in someone because like I just kept giving him the benefit of the doubt, but eventually like I just got totally like we got to start doing stuff, like people are asking questions, like there needs to be we got to do something, like if we're going to just like shoot a TV show and that's like what we're going to do, well, let's just go do that. But in the meantime, we're just like sitting here not doing anything. Like we like make a channel or something or go to work, So by like the summer's over, like I just moved home. I'm like, we gotta.
And you had nothing to show for it.
No, exactly. Zero. I had a couple T-shirts and a hat out of the whole summer,
Were they even for sale yet or no?
No, they weren't even for sale. And like these designs Mike could have whipped up by the time this podcast's over, dude. Like it's pretty heavy. Anyways.
I just pictured you guys having like 15 meetings throughout the summer about the same t-shirts.
No, bro, but you don't understand. Like there was, like it was like thousands of them we were going through. I'm like, here's the deal. We just need something cool. Pick a couple t-shirts and a hat. I'm going to wear it. We'll do some cool stuff. Kids are going to buy it. We'll move on, make new ones, right? Like, we're not going to find a perfected t-shirt that everybody's going to love.
Yeah.
And like, I kind of started getting like floored up with it. And I'm like, dude, we just got to go home. We got to start like filming something.
Both of you, right?
Yeah, we both get here. And now he's living at my dad's house in the basement. And so,
God, that was uncomfortable because now you guys were back in town and we still had this animosity to us.
Yeah, the beef
and it was
hadn't
like
been squashed.
now they're back here and they're gonna film in Cormorant, so we're gonna have two groups filming around this tiny little town.
yeah.
I remember thinking.
And that's the thing is like, basically the stuff we were doing is to do show pitches and pilots and stuff like that, right?
I remember he wanted to do Quibi.
What's Quibi?
That was like
Exactly.
the big thing. He was talking about.
left.
Yeah,
That is why
you
you
were-
Yes, sorry. Yes,
that
I
was
know
where
it's-
the show
we
was
said,
gonna
why are
air
you
on.
leaving, Jake? You said, I'm going to have a show on Quibi.
Yes, yes. No,
Quibi.
you are
That
totally
shit,
right.
The whole network didn't even work out.
yeah,
That
no,
was-
that it literally like that is the reason. That I'm pretty sure is the reason why we came home and like started the channel. Is that thing just shut down? And dude, man, all these bad memories just hit me like a brick, dude. But yes, anyways, there was this app called Quibi, and
If I remember correctly, what it was is that it was original content that you had to pay in order to view. So the reason why I was like, that will never work is because if it's original content that no one's ever seen before, why the fuck would they pay to view
watch
it?
it.
Like,
Yes.
you know, it makes no sense. But
Yeah.
anyways, yeah. So basically Quibi failed.
total flop.
It was like a 3-month thing.
Yeah. So anyway, so we come back, we start like filming stuff for pilots for YouTube. Anyways, he's like got us all totally convinced, like, okay, we're greenlit for whatever this is going to be. It's basically, it was, do you guys remember, I don't even know if I can say the name, but just beep it. Or whatever.
Oh.
Yeah. So basically, like, that was greenlit, and there was just other cast members we were going to use, right? Mm-hmm. And I was like, at this point, like, whatever, let's go
Do something.
Let's do something, right? And yeah, so like, yeah, we're good to go. We're just waiting on this and that, you know. And it's just like, it's the same story over time, you know. And I just got like kind of sick of it, revolving, like, yeah, just hamster wheeling, revolving door. And then I think it was by the time we got to, you remember the video where we did like the pumpkin drop thing? Mm-hmm. Like we started throwing pumpkins out of the plane onto the
Kinda cool.
car
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah, it is an all right idea or whatever. But like that video was filmed in September, and he didn't get that out till like October 20th. And that's when we were like, okay, we got to do this like weekly if we're gonna do this, right? Like,
Was he editing them?
yes, so he had editors back home. So we had like these big drives. We'd upload them to the cloud or whatever, or he'd mail them to him. And like it would take so long to edit them. And after that, I was like, yeah, you're just not going to edit these videos anymore. And literally out of nowhere comes Pat Reagan, just calls me up, and he's like, hey, I not doing Sasquatch anymore or whatever. And he's like, do you need a editor? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. And he's like, sweet, I'll come down like tomorrow.
Pat was like our buddy. We had known Pat and done a couple things with him over the years and just knew him. Like
Yeah.
He was part of a film production crew down in the cities that it was kind of like the same thing of CBoys, except they were just making videos for other people. And it was like very high production.
They made the Just Another Day video.
Yeah, the Just Another Day video, which is on our YouTube channel. It's like I can't remember what the edit's called, but it's like this edit.
It's like a sequence thing of events.
Yeah, and it was really cool.
It's pretty sweet.
They made that.
But
just for backstory.
he left that company. Jake left CBoys at like the same time. And
Yeah.
then you guys
Came together.
came together.
Came together.
Dude, as soon as Pat came on, it was like everything just clicked for like the
Oh.
content, the thumbnails, the ideas, like everything.
Like,
So he basically took over.
Like, yes, he took over like the editing and all that stuff. And basically, like, at that time, you know, like, then kind of just like run in the background. I'm like, this, none of this stuff is happening. Like, whatever you said, like, isn't happening. And I'm getting kind of floored. And I'm like me and Pat just kind of got to like go and do stuff. So like to just stay relevant, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
And eventually, I think it was like December 31st, like I was just sucked literally dry. Like
With who?
my bank account.
Okay.
Like December 31st. Like
So were you funding these videos
Oh.
yourself? Your manager
Yeah,
at the time wasn't chipping in?
any idea he had, any like we were funding all of it, like those vans in the pumpkin drop video. Like I went and bought the vans, like all the new camera equipment, everything. Like we built out the studio. Like I paid for all that or whatever, you know. And come December 31st, like I am capped. I'm like, dude, this isn't working. I'm like talking to my dad and Julie and whoever. I'm like, he's got to go. And you know, like they started like seeing it too, just like over time. They're like, yeah, nothing's happening. They're like, it's been so long.
You had this full grown ass man living in your basement.
Yeah. And, you know, like the benefit of the doubt was over served. You know,
What'd Pat think of him? Did they get along?
Pat did not like him.
So
Absolutely not.
basically no one liked him.
No, yeah, no one. And like me and Pat just kind of like we're talking, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna tell him it's time to go. You know, and so
Were you like pretty pent up? Like were you like
yeah,
pretty pit? Like
veins were showing. I was like, dude, I'm like, it just crashed and burned. Like I got on what was supposed to be the sickest flight of all time, and it just turned around and landed back in Fargo. You know, I didn't
fucked you over.
Yeah. It's like literally, totally, just like bent me straight over, and I had nothing to show for it. Just blew a bunch of time, and now I'm starting over from scratch.
kind of jammed up your name in the process with
Yeah, it really
with
did.
the videos.
Credibility.
Yeah, absolutely. Like it just everything totally flopped, you know. And then, so yeah, I told him on December 31st, like, you know, you're done. We're done. Like you have no equity into this. Like my literal, it's just me on the company, and like I've been the only one putting money into this. And like my dad's been flying you back and forth. We've been paying, like you just cut ties, you know. And he did not like to hear that, like at all. Like he was just pissed. He's like, "What do you mean? Like stuff's just starting to take off." I'm like, "What are you talking about? No, it is not."
Obviously, it's a nerve-wracking conversation to go into.
That's the thing. Like he was just trying to like pitch me on this and that, and he hits you with a, you know, it's funny you say that because just got the email that we were actually good to go, and I got a big meeting coming up. And I'm like, I really don't care about your big meeting, dude. Like we all know you're just kind of a, I don't.
Yeah, you've been playing us. Or whatever,
Yeah. And it just turned into this whole big ordeal. And basically, so what happened, I actually sent out the lawsuit. And all it said was, if you just walk away, it's done. Like there is no lawsuit. Like I'm doing this to protect me. You just walk away because you have no sweat. You have nothing to show for this. If anything, it damaged my name so much that like I should be asking you for a check. But I'm like, I don't want anything.
So you sent out the initial, really?
Yeah. Well, I just sent the initial thing out that says all you got to do is just leave.
So you served him.
Yeah, basically. And all I said was, just, you got to exit my life, because he would literally just like keep coming back, like literally showing up and like, or what do we do? I'm like, dude, no.
Like trying to be like, hey, I got this idea.
Yeah, you know, just trying to keep do this thing. And I'm like, no, dude, like this is done. This is like in the past. Like I got to open up a new chapter. I'm like, I just burned every bridge behind me and then spent all my money in the meantime. And now I'm here and I got nothing to show for it. Like I gotta do something here. And that was the start of it. He said no, and then it turned into a 2-year long.
Why? What was he trying to get out of it?
He said I owed him like $400,000
For what? Oh, his time?
His time, yeah.
For how long was it? Like 8 months, and you guys did what? Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, exactly. Like the math isn't adding up. Everybody I tell the story to or sees it, they're like, dude, you got nothing to show for it.
So you serve him. He sues you?
I don't know the exact terms, but I'm basically just like, if you walk away, go home. I even like offered to bring him his stuff, which I ended up doing. I paid a guy to drive all of his stuff down there. All you got to do is just like get out of my life. Like we're not working together anymore. We have no business. We have no LLC together. We have nothing.
When all that was happening, was it like flashing back like, holy shit, this is how the boys felt on the other end of it, with him being like, kind of when we started, it was like you two, and then you were going against them then?
Yeah, I totally know what you mean. It was like the amount of stuff that was just going through my brain at that time. It's crazy. And here's like the biggest thing. What my, I guess what I call it now and what my dad called it, he was like, well, you just like paid tuition at that point, you know, like just a lesson, you know? And obviously I don't wish it upon anybody to have to go through something like that. But like I learned a ton. And in a way, like it just got me readied up for the next two that I'm in now. You know, I got sued by a massive energy drink company and a sunglass company, which.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, you getting sued by Bang was bullshit.
Yeah, dude. And we
I'm
can
like,
say
he
that.
had the name.
Yeah.
What? Oh, that was the other thing. From when you came to us, told us that you left, you said, oh, yeah, also we trademarked banging.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that created a little bit of
Yeah.
animosity.
And we were like, what do you mean trademark banging? Mike made all the designs. You trademarked Mike's designs.
Well, that was what's funny because I was like, well, you deserve, and like that is your name. But then I was like, but manager sent all my designs in to get it trademarked, and I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
That was kind of a weak point, I think, because although it was like your nickname that we kind of like gave you and helped, and then we all like built it up almost through the videos. But also, I didn't really have a problem. I mean, it was like weird, but also it was like, well, we can't keep using it anyway.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
we were like,
But it was
like,
just,
you
it
have
felt like a, I don't know, like I can see where you guys are coming from, a disrespectful thing. You log into the trademark thing and see all Micah's stuff. You're like, all right, what did you just didn't want to say anything about it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So-
honestly, I mean, it makes sense that you would, you know, there's 2 points of views that could both be understood.
100%.
Yeah.
So then what? So bang?
I think you're skipping.
You can't
Like, I
say.
think we need to.
Yeah. Well, we're getting like,
I think we need to stay on. He's still in this lawsuit right now for the
Yeah.
next 2 years with his former manager.
yeah. So basically,
It's like as if things couldn't have gotten worse, they got worse.
oh yeah, if things couldn't have gotten worse, it just like kept spiraling.
Now
know?
you guys are suing each other.
Yeah, and now it just turns into this big thing. And the problem with that is it just like hung up so much other stuff because it shows like a pending lawsuit if I'm like trying to get something that I could
like a
possibly.
loan or
Yeah, all this
going
stuff,
other
you know?
businesses.
And like nobody wants to like ambassador anybody that could just like has to owe someone a bunch of money or
Yeah.
anything like that, you know? And it just created a lot of headaches. And I think the biggest headache was just for like me personally in the back of my mind, you know, it's just like, oh, this is close to over. And then the hamster wheel starts turning again. And it's like, actually, we want this, and this.
Dude, I feel you, because that's what he was. I mean, that was kind of happening with us when we were trying to do the official split with us. It was like we'd come to an agreement, and then the goalposts would get moved by him.
Yep.
It was like, well, we want this. And we'd be like, okay, yeah, you can have all the videos and use them whenever you want. Well, we want this. And it was like, it just kept
never
moving and it was
stopped.
just never stopped. And it was similar in the fact that we couldn't get a loan. So then we were just like, fuck. And
Yeah.
so I get it on a smaller scale, I guess. It's kind of similar.
Just the underlying fact that you're in a lawsuit or like anything with lawyers, those
It weighs on you.
so stressful.
Dude.
Especially when you're in a creative business that you have to be in a good mood.
At
for.
21 and you see these
you're a
numbers, I'm like, I don't have any of that, you
Yeah.
know? Like, you spent everything I had.
We want $500,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, well, you know, my time and did some of this and some of that. At $400,000. I'm like, for what?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what blows my mind the most. He's like, pay me money. And you're like, you didn't, not only did you not make me any money, because if you did, you'd maybe have a cent to pay him, but
Right.
he took it.
Also, it was like on both sides of us both having that, being in that situation, it was like a ton of money. And we're like, we don't even have close to that amount of money. I don't know where you're getting this from or who's going to give you this money, but we don't got shit. We don't got anything to give you right
I think
now.
it was just make-believe numbers. Like, all right, 5, 6, 0, 0, 0. You know?
It's like, what do we want to go for?
Yeah. And so that's the thing. So basically, at this point now, it's just me and Pat. And like, it's just this huge thing that's always there, right? And we're just like on the grind, doing good. And then some papers show up, you know? And then it's on the grind, doing good. Then some papers show up. And it basically is
Bills
Just
or
killing
like,
the vibe.
yeah, whether it was bills or just like now we want this, and it's just going to take a ton of work. That it's like It literally, you guys, I had a binder and I was going to bring it, but I have so they call it discovery, where you bring in all the evidence, right? And we asked for like 10 things maybe. His discovery was maybe like this thick. I have a binder of all the stuff I had to supply. It's like all the ad revenue from here to here, minutes of watch time, these videos that have been up, how his likeness got killed. I'm like, dude, you have 13 followers on Instagram.
That's right. I forgot about that.
The what? What are you
When
talking-
you
The
made your
goodbye?
video,
Yeah, you made your goodbye video and you kind of trashed him.
Yeah.
Like, weren't you worried about that?
Yeah, so that's the thing though. Like, I didn't use his name. I literally just said like, not trying to get sued, anything like that. And then the defamation claim comes through, and it's like, you can see my face. And we're like, no, you can't. He's like, people know it's me. And I was like, no, they don't. And so that was his biggest thing. He was so adamant about like getting that video down, which was like, he's like, I've lost so many jobs because of that video. You know, people look up the last thing I did and they see that video. And we were like requesting, you're like, show us when your last actual job was. And like, I don't think we ever got it, you know? And, but yeah.
So you start making videos with Pat.
So like once it was just kind of at a lull, you know, and like, the ball kind of starts rolling and we like start getting traction and figuring out like what kind of videos we want to make and the route we want to go, you know, and stuff like that. And, it starts going pretty good. And then, Anthony comes in and, this is so random, you guys, but it's like,
who's Anthony? Sorry.
So he's just basically like me and Cody's partner or whatever, but he's basically like my business mentor, and he's actually a fucking phenomenal one. And he's just like one of the boys. He's awesome. He's hilarious. He doesn't want anything to do with like being on video or anything like that. But he was like super interested in like the online store type of thing. And at first, me and Pat were like super cautious. Like he sent us an email and he's just like, hey, I would love to learn how this works. And we're like, oh,
Here we go again.
yeah, here's round 2. And so we like ignore his email. He sends out another one and we just ignore it. Anyways, I get this DM on Instagram from his daughter. She's like 15 at the time. And she's like, and I didn't know it was daughter. She's like, hey, I'm turning 16 soon. I saw your truck was for sale. I really want to buy it. And I'm like, okay.
The Clapter?
Yeah.
And you were like jumping on it.
You're like, yeah, let's go.
Let's send that thing down
And
the road.
so this is the best part of the story. So he told her, he's like, you know what? You negotiate your own deal. You want your first car. Like they made a deal. He'll get her first car. And so she's like, what do you want? And I just throw the Hail Mary out there, you know, just like not even close to what the thing's worth. And she goes, it's like 15 grand or something. And the thing was pretty clapped, you know?
Yeah, the Clapter.
Yeah. And she goes, okay, we'll be there this weekend. And I'm like, fuck yeah. Oh my God. And anyway, so they like show up. I got my white Mustang still at the time. And I'm like, get in, let's go for a ride. And I'm like swinging around the parking lot and we're hauling down the road, whatever, come back. And they were all giddy. And we were like checking out the truck, and me and Tony go for a ride in the truck, and dude, the rear end's literally about to like leave. Like you put it in gear and it's like clunk, and he's like, "What? So what is that back there?" I'm like, "Oh, it's Gen 1 thing. They all do that."
Log rolling around in the back.
Yeah, literally. I'm like, that's just a Gen 1 thing. I'm like, mine over there does it too. And I didn't even realize, but he came in the same truck, and he didn't say like, mine doesn't do that. And he's like, well, she really wants it, so I'll take it. And he just hands me an envelope of cash, and we go in the house, and I just count it all right in front of him. And he's like, all right, is it all there? I'm like, yeah, it's there. And he's like leaving, driving it at home, and the thing's like falling apart. And he calls his wife, and he's like, I just got so bent. But he's like, I could not tell my daughter no.
If you've ever checked out CboysTV.com, you'll see just how great a Shopify website is. And if we can do it, you know it's easy. Shopify is the e-commerce platform revolutionizing millions of businesses worldwide, and the platform that makes it so easy to shop on our website. If you're looking to start up your own online store, Shopify is the only tool you need to start, run, and grow your business without the struggle. Whether it's online or in person, Shopify's got you covered. If you're selling online like we do every day, or you're trying to set up an in-person point of sale system at an event like Heydays, Shopify's all-in-one e-commerce e-commerce platform has got you guys covered. We have a merch shop coming up on the 24th, so our whole website needs to be overhauled. If you guys have checked out the website before, you've seen that we change everything. What we love about Shopify is it makes it so easy to add and remove products, change the look of our site, and give us everything we need to take our online sales to the next level. Plus, it gives you guys an easy and safe way to buy our products. So sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/wideopen, which is all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/wideopen to take your business to the next level today. That's shopify.com/wideopen.
Anyways, when he was there, he's like, yeah, I was the guy that was trying to email you. And we're like, yeah, I don't know, kind of just trying to stay away from that stuff. And he's like, no, he's like, I don't want anything. And he's like, I'll actually make like a document that says I want nothing in return. But he's like, I'm curious how like the giveaway business works, you know? And he's like, I want to see how it goes. He's like, what if we just do this? He goes, I'll buy your next item. And he just, so I was like, let me come in and see how like the Shopify store works, how you guys promote and stuff like that. And he goes, if you don't even make your money back, he goes, in the thing, it says you don't owe me anything. Like, I'm just curious to see how it works. And I was like, okay. So like we do it. And I think we had like the Slingshot or the Ranger at the time. Mm-hmm. And that was like the first one we did. And so then he's like, would you ever help me like open my store? And I'm like, sure. And like, we just start like hanging out, and like, we actually got along like super well or whatever. And he was like showing me this and that. He's like, well, if you help me with my store, he goes, I'll like help you with like your accounting and stuff. Cause at the time I was paying like, I think over 25 grand in a year just to have like my books done and stuff. Just cause it was insane. Well, I'll handle that. And he's like, that'll save you a bunch of money and stuff. And so like I help him open the Halco gear store or whatever. And we start doing that. And, anyways, it just kind of evolved into, just like being friends or whatever. And then, that's how we just kind of like started Bums. And that's just kind of like our baby together, which is what we do. So he's just like the
sunglasses business.
Yeah, sunglass business. And that's just kind of what we do. So he just hangs out with us and kind of like mentors us business wise, handles the books and stuff like that. But he likes going to like events and stuff like that. So we just kind of hang out, and it's freaking awesome because like that's the thing I was kind of looking for. And I'm so grateful. Like ever since he came into my life, like I was so skeptical, so scared, just like kept pushing back, and like didn't want anything to do with it. Like it's been awesome. Like I've learned more now than like I ever have, you know?
Yeah, it was almost that business mentor that you were looking for in the beginning, someone who has run businesses and has done things.
And it's super cool, and we have like a lot of common, you know, and like it's awesome because like if I do something like super dumb, you know, and it's not like the dad thing, you know, or you get like scolded by your dad or whatever. He'll just be like, well, that was stupid. You're going to do that again, you know? And he's just like, all right, let's like move on to the next thing. You know, it's kind of a mentor and a friend in business, you know, and kind of like just showed me the path of like running numbers, you know, and we just kind of do our thing on camera. And me and Cody are kind of like the promoter side of the sunglasses. And he's like, I'll just run the backside. And it works out really well.
Nice.
So what's going on the YouTube end?
It's literally just me and Cody doing our thing, and that's kind of what we're trying to dial in now. And it's so funny. So we like shut the Bang Insight down for a while because like sunglasses have within the last 2 months, this is like the coolest part. So, you know, everything was just in my life kind of dwindling, and like I said, I started going to like the therapy and my better decisions. I mean, Cody started going to the gym every morning. You know, you just like you feel more dialed in when you're just like healthier, in a better mindset, and you
100%.
get more creative and stuff like that. And within the last 2 months, like I've been having so much fun, never laughed so much, and like it really rebuilt my relationship with Cody, which is like the greatest thing. And
Your cousin.
yeah, literally my cousin, and like we've been literally living it up together. And like as soon as that starts happening, like other good things start happening, you know. And like last month when we were doing that 23 for 23 deal, like our videos were doing okay, but it was like nothing like in the millions of views or even like barely at 100,000 views, and some were lower, some were higher. And it was like our best month we've ever had ever.
As far
Awesome.
as sales.
Sales and it was like, it was awesome just because we were being smarter, doing better, like just overall looking at different routes we can go. You know, like we tried advertising on Hulu Netflix, Snapchat, like all that, like traditional advertising and stuff. And like it works, but it's so crazy. I think I saw you liked it. Did you watch MTV Jesse's thing when he's talking about the core thing?
Yeah.
Like that's literally what I saw and kind of like what we started doing. And I don't know. That's the thing. Like we and I have nothing to prove to anyone but myself of like the success I want to see. And we're basically starting from the ground up, and like Bums has kind of just been like our baby. And I've loved sunglasses forever. Obviously like the shield, and then it turned into the super big shield.
Yeah,
like,
had the craziest sunglasses.
Yeah.
Man. I don't even know if some of them could be called sunglasses.
no, some of them were like welding masks, but I just wear them, you know. That's been the coolest thing. And like I'm not gonna totally ditch it, but like the Bangin' brand to me is, it's obviously super special because it like built me up into who I am, and I built it with you guys, and it's super fun. But I've kind of found a passion for like an actual like item, you know. And the cool thing about sunglasses is like some of the people that are buying them don't even know who we are. Like 2 giveaway winners ago, I called him and I'm like, "You won." He's like, "I won what?" I'm like, no, timber sled with it was like the pit bike timber sled thing.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, I saw that call and I laughed.
Yeah.
I was like, well, that's good.
Yeah. Like he had no idea, thought it was a scam, had never heard of us, had no idea who we are. And
That's what you want.
That's
Yeah,
exactly
exactly.
what you want.
Exactly
and
what you want.
I'm like, okay, we're reaching people that don't know who we are. And that's the thing that I love is like everybody loves sunglasses, but I have so many people that are like, "Hey, will you make a t-shirt?" Like I'd buy one, but I just don't want it to say Bangin'. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. Like it's cool. You know, it's my audience is like, that's for my actual core audience, you know, but like, it's so fun building something that has a chance of like outliving my lifetime, you know? And that's like what I ultimately have a passion for, you know, like we've been just doubling down, and we just ordered a ton more shades and are looking at different manufacturers, new boxes, trying to figure out a way to get like an ambassador program going where like athletes can have their signature shade or whatever, and like kind of trying to figure out how to snowball. And like my goal at the end of the day is to be like a Blenders, you know, or like just something of like that, you know, like I've just loved sunglasses so much.
Well, I think you got a great name, and
100%.
and I've heard the product's great, but I haven't gotten any bums myself. Which is bullshit because every single person around here gets a pair of bums except for your boys.
Dude, his girlfriend even is only like 3 pairs, bro.
Unbelievable. You can't hook a homie up.
Well,
I'm just kidding. I'll buy them.
I tell you what. I'll bring a bunch over. If you like them, then you buy them.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
But no, it's great. And I'm happy to see that, you have created a product that is bigger than yourself and has the potential to be bigger than yourself or a YouTube channel or anything like that, which is awesome, man. I think that's exactly what, you know, people make videos for.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
In our case, you know, we're still trying to figure out even what that is for us, but you know, I think that's the ideal situation for any creator is to create something like that.
And the cool thing too is like it's just kind of been something to grab onto, you know, for hope too. It's just like it honestly has helped like my mental health a lot, because now I kind of have a, you know, when you have like a vision or a path, like it's so much easier to, okay, I'm taking
wake up every day with you know where you're going, intent.
Yeah, exactly. And like that's the, like sometimes, and you guys probably get it, the hard thing is like, okay, let's sit down, have a meeting, what are we going to film, you know? And it just gives me like a sign of relief that we're making videos for a reason, to push Bums into being bigger than me or the YouTube channel or any like thing that I just, if it has the chance of catching on, you know, and becoming maybe not a total A-list mainstream sunglass, but enough to where like they'll sell themselves. And like that was the coolest part about last month. We didn't have a giveaway, we didn't have nothing going on, and like it was the best we ever did. And we're like, okay, like there's something there. Like people are buying them. And
$23 shades for 23 days, and it was like a marketing
just like
just a marketing idea that was that was great, and leaned on, you being more creative, and obviously it worked.
And we were basically just pushing them through like Instagram, just coming up with funny reels, whether it was just like, I had like Andrew's kid do one, or Cody's telling everybody they're all free, you know?
Yeah,
and
that
like
was funny.
people were just geeking out over it. And I was like, okay, like I'm loving this. Like we're in.
They're cool shades too, by the way.
Yeah,
like
they
I mean,
are good.
the all the styles are, they're cool, and then they're at a price that's actually fair,
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, it really is a no brainer that people love them,
And
you
that's-
you just had to get the product in front of them.
Right. And that's like the hardest part is like obviously I bought like really dumb stuff, but I've never bought a pair of Ray-Bans because I can't
Same.
keep track of sunglasses, like we own a sunglass
Break 'em.
company and I'm losing them left and right. Like it's terrible. And, but that's kind of like why I started it, is just like a good, affordable, awesome speed kids, flashy college shade. And then you got like the more black or whatever for the older people. But
Yeah.
it's just cool how it kind of came full circle as a passion, but it started off with just big shades and then big shades. And then I'm like, okay, not everybody going to wear those.
It's
We
on
did
brand.
sell
Dude,
those.
it
Do you
is
remember
so
that?
funny
Yeah, we had
to
the
think
Bang
back
and
to the
Shield.
shields.
Dude, I
Pop
have
up a
the
picture of
original.
that.
I have the original. It's not here, but yeah.
Those things, they were so cool, but you couldn't see shit out of them.
Well, it said like
Etching,
banging,
Banging in it.
etching,
Yeah, you're
dude.
like, so not sure what I'm looking at.
But it doesn't matter. I look cool.
So you don't make banging merch at all anymore?
So what we're gonna do, we do. So we're kind of gonna evolve it. So I'm basically just gonna be selling like limited packs. So there'll be a bronze pack, a silver pack, a gold pack, and a platinum pack. And it'll just be like bronze will be like t-shirt hat, silver will be t-shirt sweatshirt hat or something like that. And it'll just basically be kind of like drops of like 100, and just for the people that want the
core.
the OG designs, or like the I should say the OG group that supports the Bangin' brand, But I'm like, my main focus is just like bums. Like I'm all in on it. And I don't want to forget about the other people that helped me, but like I love it, and I see it being my future.
What did you learn after doing YouTube on your own?
Having a group of 7 when we started, and like being together, being stressed out about getting stuff done, and then going to 2 people, you wear a lot of hats, dude. Like it's insane. Like
I still laugh when I see you holding a camera.
it's funny, right? Because
Bro.
you'd never think it would ever happen. And like I've had to learn enough to use it. Like it doesn't fit, right? Like it's weird, but like I like it. I shouldn't say I love it, but like I have to learn to do it, and like I enjoy it. But just like making sure everything works. Like, okay, so we're having a drop tonight. Okay, I got to make sure all the products are cut in. I got to make sure all this. Got to make sure the inventory is good. I got to make sure the website's live. So really funny. Literally coming back to it. We dropped a shade like 2 weeks ago, and the only reason we did it is because I forgot to change it from draft to active. And I was like, why are none of these selling? I'm like, oh, they're not on the website. And so like simple stuff like that, and just like keeping everything in a row, and like working as a team. Like, okay, what are we going to film? How are we going to do it? When are we going to do it? Do you have enough time to edit? All right, when you're editing, I'll do this, this, and this. And just like keeping your ducks in a row. Like you got to be dialed, and it's full time. Like it's 7 days a week, and it, but if you love it, and that's the thing, if you love your job, you don't have to work again a day in your life.
Absolutely.
And you're living it.
I think a lot of the people at home don't realize how difficult running a YouTube channel is. Like an actual, like a successful YouTube channel like that, where you're actually outputting content and doing all the things,
It's a grind. Like it is, everyone's like, oh man, you guys must live the life.
Just play all day. Yeah.
They'd see us on a Tuesday, or no, sorry, they see you guys on Thursday out at the bar having some beers. Like, man, you guys just get to party all the time. You're like, no, actually, we just uploaded a video, and like today's probably the only day we get to do something. Now we got to go back tomorrow, And like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday doesn't exist.
Yeah, it's just another day.
It's just today. Like you're working.
And it's amazing how fast you post on Wednesdays. How fast Wednesday every week comes. It's like it's Wednesday, and then it's like, boom, it's Wednesday again.
Yeah.
Or it's Tuesday, and you're trying to figure out how you're going to get the video up.
I just remember when we used to do 2 a week.
Oh my God.
I don't even fucking know how we did it. It just was a different time. When you have your back against the wall, it's really easy to like, it's not easy, but it's just like, what else are you going to do?
Me and Pat did that for, I think, 2 or 3 weeks when I had that diesel pickup. And oh my God, it was just, we were kind of both grumpy. It was brutal, you know, and like you need a serious team.
Yeah.
I think what people sometimes don't realize is although what you're doing is fun, the capturing of it and making sure it all can be cut together and put into like a good presentation that's entertaining makes it takes away the fun, you know, because you're not just going riding. You're like, okay, we need to get a shot here. Like
Making sure the camera's on and working.
How'd that shot look? Oh, we were into the sun. Like it becomes a little bit more stressful because you want it to turn out good. So that way you can output this good thing to your audience.
be proud of.
You know, that you can be proud of.
We literally just had that problem. So like a GoPro was recording and like it got bumped and then the screen just like glitched and it would have been hilarious. So we were going to basically, it was a total flop prank, but remember when you guys did the water thing to Evan? Well, we were going to do that to like Tony or my dad or whoever.
Water thing?
No, you put a bunch of water in the back seat with the lids
Yeah.
on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So we were going to do that to Tony and I had the GoPro on the dash, you know, it was going and it said it was going and I didn't know he didn't have his seatbelt on, and I'm driving like an a-hole. Instead of all the water going everywhere, the Walmart dude just did us a super solid, or McDonald's dude did us a solid, put like the lids on tight, wrapped them up, put them in bags. I ordered 15 waters. None of the water spilt, but I put his head into the window and like gave him a concussion instead of pranking him. Like he was sitting over here. I thought he had a seatbelt on, so I was going to whip it over.
Oh, he flew across the back seat.
So all the water. Yeah, he ends up just getting slammed into the window. And he's like, dude, what are you doing? I'm like, that was a bad prank.
So is he okay?
Yeah, he's good, but he's just like, what were you trying to do? And we're like, we're going to prank you. But we missed
They
it.
give you 15 waters?
Yeah, I ordered 5 McDoubles and 15 waters.
Oh, that's
dude,
what
they
helped.
wouldn't do it for me.
That's because
But
we
I was-
strictly ordered water.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I told him we had a crew working up the road.
Smart.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah.
But that's even like the other thing. It's like that, and then like going into that prank, you're probably wondering like, how are we gonna film this? So do we just put a GoPro here? Should we have someone running a camera to get the other shot? Because like you know, and it just makes it difficult.
Yeah.
or it makes it more, just more work put into it. But
Right.
Intensive. I can't tell you, Jake, you know, watching from the outside, going through all the emotions that we have, and now in the last few years, really coming back together. Now we're homies. We're sending memes
Yeah.
in the group chat back and forth every day.
Yeah.
We're texting, you know, what are you guys doing? Cody's saying, get that bread in the morning, stuff like that.
yeah.
To watch you find a rhythm again and be happy. And CJ was talking about how you look healthier and stuff like that. When you smile now, I can tell it's real. And you're not just smiling so everybody else thinks you are. And I can't tell you as like your best friend how good that feels to see someone doing well and being happy and catch a flow. It's the best.
Dude, thanks.
And like to piggyback off of that, obviously big ups to you. It's so cool being best friends with you and Cody and seeing you guys like that made me so happy when you guys are like, yep, it's us two now. It doesn't really get much better than that because you guys, like you said, you rekindled the relationship and then started making.
Well, that was the coolest thing, how it came full circle. Is like, so me and Cody were like best friends from childhood up, you know, and then like we got into high school, and then when we kind of went to college, we started like slowly peeling apart. Instead of seeing each other every day, you know, he'd like come up to school or whatever we were doing. And, you know, after Pat left, Cody just kind of came in and it was awesome. Like it was so fun. Like we just started doing stuff and it like totally rebuilt our relationship. And it was like those years that we missed, like just came in a couple months and we were just giving her again, you know?
It only made sense too. Like it just is such a natural collective,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know?
For sure, bricks together. You know what's crazy? Cormorant's got to have the highest capita of YouTubers in the whole world. Like,
Yeah.
screw LA, dude. Freaking Cormorant.
Yeah, there's like
Population us, bro.
no kidding, dude.
There's what?
Every other person's a YouTuber in this town.
Yeah, literally.
Man.
now we got Big Wrench.
Yeah, we
too.
got Big Wrench.
Big Wrench now a YouTuber too. He has
Now
to
we're
explain to people.
You starting a channel?
Well, he's a part of this channel.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. We're bringing
I love it.
outsiders in.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. What do you do for work? YouTuber.
Yeah.
Oh, it is fun. It is fun. People in the town are gonna be like, God damn, they're multiplying.
Shops coming up everywhere. Jesus.
Yeah.
How's Davey doing? Your dad?
Dude, that's like the other thing too is I don't think my relationship with my dad has ever been stronger ever since
that's
like
good.
our work life kind of like
Separated?
you know, like obviously, and I loved it. We get along great. It's not like we had any problems, but like we just work together all the time. And you know, like you don't really do father-son stuff after you've been with them 15 hours a day for 7 days a week for 3 months. You know, like that stuff you just, when I go home, I'm like, all right, I want to go hang out with my friends or go do other stuff, you know? And now that I'm not there, like we do all kinds of stuff together that is just non-work related. Like in a couple weeks, me and my dad are getting matching brands. I don't want to do it. It's gonna suck, but I'm doing it because
Why don't you just get a tattoo?
I'm getting one of those too. But I want
brand's cooler.
Yeah, we're gonna actually get like the Sherbrooke S right on our chest.
No
It's 2
way,
inch,
really?
2 inch,
Like
yeah.
a Superman almost.
Oh yeah, dude, it's gonna be awesome. And I thought he was kidding. He's like, nope, we're doing it. They ordered the brand. It's on the way. We're flying to a cattle farm, and we're just gonna lay on the ground. And
You're gonna do it at a cattle farm?
Yeah, we're gonna have a doctor there.
Oh,
but
okay.
yeah, we're getting matching brands.
A cattle doctor,
Bro.
but
So sick.
Dude, it's gonna actually be pretty
That's
bad.
gonna be cool.
Are you gonna film that? Obviously, and
Oh,
put it on the
have
channel.
to,
Yeah,
yeah.
you can't not film.
You know
that.
what?
That's crazy.
You could get it too because it's an S.
Oh yeah, Cody.
It's just like, no, I gotta film. Yeah.
yeah, he's like, oh, someone's got to film this. So
But we just do like rambunctious stuff together. You know, it's like he'll come up with an idea. He's like, let's try this, let's try that. And it's been cool.
dude. I'm sure some of the viewers have seen your dad on video, but if you ever meet Jake's dad after you met Jake, you go, oh, makes sense why he's the way he is.
Yeah, literally, Apple like fell right under the tree, bro.
Yeah. We saw him, I don't know, it must have been a month ago now. We were at the inn eating, and he bought all of our dinner.
On his birthday.
On his birthday.
We were
Yeah,
gonna
it was
buy
kinda
his
bullshit.
dinner.
We were going to buy him dinner, and then he bought our dinner.
That is the most Dave thing ever,
Yeah.
bro.
He goes, well, you fuckers already owe me everything, so what's one more dinner?
Hasn't changed. Oh, I love
No,
that.
it was funny.
God, that is so good.
Dave, yeah, that guy's one of a kind.
So is there any like hold on. Let me go through this list to make sure. if
Yeah.
there's, like,
Yeah, you got
anything
anything
We got it all the
else.
time. This is great.
Yeah.
Hey, you go through the list. I gotta take a.
Dude, I actually do too.
Oh, we can
We're
take
good
a
to
little
go.
piss
Can we
break.
take a pause?
Yeah, take a
Intermission.
pause.
all right, we're back. We needed to refuel, take a bathroom break.
Empty
We're
the
back
tank.
now.
Yep.
Now it's time to ask the real burning question, Jacob.
Yeah.
You and your cousin Cody raced your Mustang against his BMW. Did he really wax you?
You guys don't understand. He blew my doors off.
Dude, what's up with that, Jake?
Dude, I'm telling you.
No offense, Cody, but Jake,
The curse is still alive and well. I ain't winning nothing.
you went to fucking Texas to pick up this Mustang. You get back here and you get beat by an almost stock BMW. No offense, Cody.
It's not. Cody's got a fast BMW, but you would just think a supercharged fucking Mustang 5.0.
The supercharger is. It looks cooler than it is because
It's just for looks.
No,
It's a
no,
Whipple?
no. It's a warranty like install. So it's maybe on like a 20 more horsepower than factory. So like it's got stock injectors, stock fuel system. It's literally like a bolt-on Whipple and a Whipple tune, and that's it.
So
it's
why did you
safe.
go to Texas for it?
Because it was a good deal, and Ryan actually kind of nailed it right on the spot. So like, obviously, besides my pole debacle, the body was in like okay shape, but nothing like crazy. And the motor was super strong, and it didn't have any wild parts on it, which I didn't want because I wanted like a solid car, and the blower's like 15 grand, and the hard part's out of the way.
Holy 15 grand.
Yeah, because so it's a 3-liter Whipple, and they can push like 30 pounds of boost, which is like 1,500 wheel on a Coyote, and it's on like 4 pounds or 6 pounds right now.
Is that what our Ford Ranger has?
Are you actually putting a 3-liter Whipple on your Ranger?
No, we just bought one that has one in it.
Actually,
Well,
Yeah.
we're doing something
Okay.
else with the Ranger. But
sorry,
sorry.
besides
Different
point.
Ranger
But
noise,
anyway,
same.
so like my end goal with this car is I just want to build it into like a full blown drift car. So that's what we're doing. So I like been talking with Vaughn and the RTR team, and they've just been loading me with parts. So I'm doing full like 90-degree fun haver kit, wide body kit. I got like the RTR wheel set up, and I just want like the most rowdy, obnoxious daily drift car.
Of course you do.
it's gonna be
Okay.
fucking sick.
The key word of that is daily.
Yeah, see that's the thing. Everyone's like, "Oh, you won't be able to daily it." I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna."
You can daily anything. It just depends what you can live with.
Yeah, exactly.
I almost asked, where are you going to drive this thing, Jake? But then you answered my question.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, it doesn't. I don't think you could like physically or possibly make a louder car than that white Mustang.
And that's the goal. Is we're
What?
gonna try. Like, I want it back. Like I need
That
it.
shit
What's
was
up with
deafening.
You love Mustangs, bro.
Dude, I do, and that's the thing. Like, and I wanted to go a different route, and like you probably would have thought it was cool, but R34s are now legal in the U.S.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's the route I want to go. And then like I saw the new RTR Mustang, I'm like, okay, that's pretty sick.
Such a
Yeah.
And then I just like sent a
Mustangs.
Hail Mary to Vaughn. I'm like, how do I get one of these kits? He's like, I'll send you over to my buddy Jim, and you guys can work something out. And I'm like, let's go. So that we just went for it.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
But your first drifting experience didn't go that well.
Yeah, what's up with that too?
It's right there.
I got the video, dude. Granted, it looks like it did pretty well for
I mean,
you.
yeah, congrats on the viral clip.
Yeah.
Jay, what's up with you Mustang guys?
Dude, okay.
You just couldn't help yourself, huh?
No, 6.4 million people
Holy
now
fuck,
know I
that's
can't
awesome.
drive.
It almost looks like you did it on purpose.
No, I didn't. I wish I could play it off and say I did. That's just.
I don't know, man. The cards are lining up.
Yeah, you think I'm that
buy
good to
this-
perfectly
you-
put it in the poll?
Yeah, that's a good point. Never mind. Never
you think
mind.
I'm that good,
Never
bro?
mind. Yeah, good point.
No, so like I was like, Cody was at the shop, Tom was at the shop. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna come in hot, you know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
because I've done that corner a million times. I'm like, I'm just gonna step it up a little bit, and it just looped out.
So-
and the thing is with the Mustang, to turn them into like drift cars or go drifting with them, there's like a lot of actual stuff you got to do, such as like the steering racks in them are electronic. So like, you know, like in your drift car or like, you know, when you're just drifting a car and you throw the wheel, it'll return on its own. The Mustangs don't
do
because
that.
it's electronic steering rack.
And you should have bought a Miata.
Exactly. Which in hindsight, I should have just kept the one I had and then just used that to practice with. But
You were explaining that to me the other day, and you were saying that's why you always see these clips of these Mustangs doing, like, basically losing control and hitting crowds or poles or houses or whatever the fuck it's hitting in that video, which
Yeah.
seems to be a trend with Mustangs is because of that electronic steering rack.
yeah, well, the thing is that like the old Mustangs didn't have that, so it's still stereotypical.
It's
but
got to
I-
just be the driver.
Yeah, that's probably too. You know, we're just a different breed. But the other thing too is, so everyone's like, "Why didn't you hit the brakes?" I had them locked up, but you got to like pull the ABS fuse because they go.
Yeah.
So whatever. But
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm just a bad driver, dude.
Dude,
We'll get
so
there.
you're getting toasted, roasted and toasted in the Mustang groups or what?
Oh yeah, so there is a Mustang group on Facebook. I'm a part of it. Every Mustang person's a part of it. The page is bigger than my YouTube channel itself, and my video's front and center, pinned to the top, and it says, "This is why you don't," or this is why daddies shouldn't give their sons their car. And I'm just like, oh, frick. So yeah, I'm just getting.
I feel like no Mustang guy has any ground to stand on.
no. The only person that does is like Vaughn and the goat, but we're all just trying to be like him.
If there's one thing that I know, you're having fun in the comments in that Mustang group though.
Oh yeah, I'm loving it. The amount of times I've had like temporary ban in that group, everyone is just violent.
You've
in
always
there.
been doing that.
Yeah.
You've
Yeah.
never
Never
getting
backed down.
temporary ban from every Facebook group since we've been friends.
Yeah. Dude, there's this snowcross page
Yeah.
that Cody will send me it, and it's just like locked. I'm like, banned from that one.
You never
to be
back
core
down
rat.
to a Facebook comment section battle or an Instagram comment section battle. You'll be there.
Oh yeah, I'm in. Like I'm keyboard warrior, like class A status.
Yeah,
Like
you're replying if someone's talking shit.
absolutely. I have been from day one. Do you guys remember Nicholas Conicello?
Oh,
yeah, dude.
First troll.
Ever.
Who was that guy? Didn't you guys get to the bottom of that? So for backstory, you'll remember now, Ryan.
I have
To
every single comment ever on my laptop in a folder.
to the listeners or viewers. When we first started up our YouTube channel, this was in the first year, there was this one guy, his name was Nicholas Conicello, and he would comment, like, I mean, as soon as we posted the video, it was like, he would comment something very negative towards us, and especially Jake.
No, just Jake.
And with Jake, he would get very, like, personal with, like, factual details of his life that we hadn't even leaked yet. So
Was,
we're
like,
like,
digging on your
where the
family, your
frick
findings.
is this guy getting this information? Is this someone in the area with an alias name? Is this someone random that's doing a ton of research? Where are they finding this? So what was the deal with that? Didn't you guys come to an
I
amends?
think we all did and figured it out. But the weirdest part is, he knew my girlfriend. He knew everyone in my family. Like he would just like come
he was
out.
a stalker,
Yeah,
dude.
and dude, that's the thing. You know the comment that's like first, he was first. Like every
time.
single video.
You know, dude, the weirdest part is then MTV hit us up and wanted to do a show on
my
Cat.
God, that was another one,
I
right?
think we thought he was that guy.
What if they were
No, he
planting
was.
that? What if
He
they were
was.
planting?
That's what
They
it was.
knew
turned
about
it
him.
in. Bro.
Yes, that's what it was.
Oh my
They
god.
What if
knew
it
about
was like?
him.
What if they set it up for the show? They're like, oh, perfect. This will be a perfect online presence to do a prank on, and they were setting up, and then the show never aired. I don't
bro,
know.
they
Maybe
ain't
that was it.
working
That's
that
a
hard.
really good idea.
Besides
good
for the
idea.
fact that it's bullying, like it's just straight up
Yeah.
bullying.
Like,
That's
he was
like a
getting
really good
personal,
idea,
bro.
Like for a show idea, like creators meeting like their biggest hater, online
Yeah,
hater.
that's
It's
what it
just
was.
Like
That was
catfish. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, but I mean, it's just
Dude, that's kind of
just
the effed
pretty
up part.
wrong.
Like, imagine
Yeah.
if that wasn't me and someone who like took that stuff like
And like
tried
took their
and
own
true.
life or something. Yeah, and
Yeah,
they're just
messed
like they
up.
were setting it up for some big show.
Yeah, that
They
would
just probably would just act like nothing ever happened. I'm sure.
that would make the
Fucking
most sense.
assholes.
Otherwise, how would they know that like he was like our biggest?
But
hater?
where the fuck were they getting that information? That shit wasn't online.
Yeah,
Like he was
that's-
hitting details that only a person that knows you,
in the area that is a friend of a
that
friend
knows you and
Yeah.
has known you for a long time would know.
Yeah.
It is very strange.
You know what? My only problem with your hot-headedness in Facebook groups is, Jake. Everyone still thinks you're a fucking C-boy, and we get dragged
It's
into
true.
it every single
Yeah,
time,
What
dude.
was that deal at Power Crew?
Yeah.
Last week,
Yeah,
dude,
last
some
week.
guy you were beefing with,
Dude,
hashtag C-boys, hashtag all this shit, and we're like,
If you ever do anything bad, it comes back on us as well. It's
I
all
know.
of us.
When I saw the hashtags and stuff, I'm just like, oh, let that one go right through to that. Just kind of let that skirt through. But no, so there's this dude. He doesn't even deserve his name out there, but he's got a Lambo like Benz or whatever. And
Dude, he's a flex offender.
yeah, and
A
I
D-bag.
literally go, hey, I got a buddy that's got one of those, but he's not a dick. And anyway, so we like start to try and gap him in this Supra, and he's like, no, I know that thing's fast. I'm like, what, do you buy a fast car and you don't want to race or whatever? And then like I went out for the drifting thing and just totally looped it my first run. And he's
That's
classic.
yeah,
funny.
it's so classic. It
So
was,
you kind of set that up on yourself then. But
Oh,
granted,
yeah.
he was kind of being a D-bag.
yeah, no,
But
he-
you put yourself in that.
I was just trying to start a little stumping for the video, you know, and I was
you
kind
go.
of kidding, you know.
Did you have it on the video, like you talking shit?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you put. Yeah, it's in the video. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it's in the first minute.
Good.
I literally see the Lambo come through. I'm like, my buddy's got one of those, but he's not a dick. And then like,
And he also thinks he can beat your ass.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, his name is Ben Roth, just in case you don't know.
He shows up at the door.
Here's
He's
his
like,
number, his address, too.
I'm here to fight. Your friend Jake said he wanted to fight me. Just in your front lawn on like a Friday morning.
You're like, huh? Well, it's news to me.
Yeah, no, that I feel like that happens all the time still. You know how many people we meet that are like have some kind of something to say and they're like, yeah, you see boys, yeah, Jake, and you get brought up and we're like, nope. He left.
He was actually on his own. He's across the water. He's on the other side of the lake.
He's on the
is so
south
funny.
side of Cormorant.
It's so funny how we both probably have like our own issues and we're still drug into both of each other's lives.
Literally, like the tracks on the Raptor thing.
Oh
or
my
That
God.
one,
Yeah.
all that
Got us
stuff.
jammed up for a bit.
Yeah, or I went to NDSU.
No,
Yeah, well, man. I mean, we might have
Some
probably
guy
did
goes,
some shit
you're
to
not,
make.
you're not allowed around here anymore. I'm like, whoa, what are you talking about? I'm not. I wasn't there. Like, and they're like, sure, buddy.
What was
Yeah.
the story with that one? Yeah, you went there with the toilet on the back of the truck. I'm sorry,
Another manager.
Um,
Influence vid.
And then you got pulled over,
Yeah,
and they were like,
you're not.
you're blacklisted.
Yeah,
because we were there like 3 weeks prior on our pit bikes.
Yes, I know. And they're like, we caught you last week with pit bikes. And they're like, if they see a camera, they're like, yeah, they're the only ones that do that. I'm like,
Yeah. I kind of kissed that goodbye. Like, what would ever happen if we needed to go back to college? Like, we got a little bit of credits built up there. Like if we're
burned
like,
that bridge,
hey,
buddy.
we want them back. They're like, we have nothing, no recollection you've been here. I'm like, what? I mean, I don't got much to show for it, but I got a little. Like,
my 16 credits.
yeah,
The
where's
only-
my? I had a half a semester. No, I had more than that, but you know,
the only thing I have from NDSU is 30 unpaid parking tickets. And I still
that
have
might
them.
be part of why you're banned.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Whatever happened with that?
Still got them. Still ain't paying them.
How many parking
Why
tickets
would you?
did
I
you
have them
actually-
all. No, I'm pretty sure.
I thought it was more than that, dude.
Didn't we bust them all out? I think I counted 33.
We would hang them. Well, you would hang them
Yeah.
all around the
Bangingtation. It's wrote
around
on all
the
of them.
fucking just entryway to the college house, which basically turned into a merchandise shop. Just
Every
the
day
merch.
it'd be a new
And,
one.
yeah, there was like one seat and it was in front of the computer to print labels. But
Dude, I actually got really good at it, though, on how not to get them. So I would take one of my dad's vehicles. Because remember when you signed up for school, you put a car with a license plate, and then that ticket would get attached to your account? Well, when I'd go to class at Berry Hall, I would turn on the strobe lights, leave the car running out front, and go into class, come out, no ticket.
it was a
It's
hack.
actually pretty funny.
Yeah,
that
that
is
is
a
pretty
hack.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you might have broke the system there.
I was dialed. I'm
That's
like,
actually a really good idea.
and I got front row parking every day.
Dude,
That was fun times, man.
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, we've had a lot of fun times together, but like,
Here's a question I wanted to ask you guys. So I'm guessing you did watch my Why I Left video.
yeah,
I thought it was very, very well said and well produced too.
yeah.
I think that was
really
my
good.
favorite video I think we've ever made. Crazy backstory on that. When me and Pat were making it, day of posting, Pat was talking to me about how Premiere can sometimes crash and get rid of your whole project. And I'm talking, Pat's had like weeks into this thing. Like we thought this whole video out, right? Like we're gonna, like I got nothing to my name right now. We got no money. We got nothing. I'm like, I got this Mustang that's paid off and that's it. And so we're like, I'm going to make the Why I Left video and give away my car at the end, right? Right before we're going to launch the video, maybe the afternoon of, the whole project's gone. Like everything's gone. And so like, we were like panicking and I'm like, does this happen often? Like Pat's like, no, he's like, I just go into my most recently saved and he's like, it'll come back. For like 2 hours, he's looking for this thing and he's freaking out. And finally he found like what are those files that are like lower quality and then you can up them up or whatever and link the clip. So we got it back together and got it out.
My God, dude.
That had to be so stressful.
Oh, it was terrifying. And then originally we thought like, oh, like Bob's logged into all of our accounts, you know, or like he did this. And no, it was like, we were like, it's first thing that came to our head because during that time, I don't know if you guys remember, but there was like a month when, not a month, not quite, but like where we didn't post any videos because in between him leaving and us doing like our thing, like he like locked the channel, changed the password, changed all that. And we couldn't get into it. And then we got it back real quick. But then, so we're like, oh my gosh, he's probably still logged into all these other accounts. We're like changing passwords to everything and stuff like that. But we got it. But my question was in that video when I was saying like, what was more fun to film to you guys? Like now having pretty much almost every toy you wanted or like then in the beginning? Because it's two very different times.
Me and CJ talked about this yesterday. We were talking about this with our friend Spencer and his filmer, who has watched for a long time. And, you know, we were kind of explaining how we got a little bit more structure, a lot bit more structure
Right.
now.
More options.
And I think that we are so much more creative now because we have more of a budget. And I think creativity is a muscle that only gets stronger with time. And the more you use it, the more you become more creative.
Right.
But to answer your question on the fun side is I honestly probably have more fun now.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
I can kind of see how you're saying that because
There was so much unknowing back then.
that was the thing for me is like that the fun side of it, I should say, is like when an idea would just pop up, I'd just get juiced, you know, when it would come out of thin air and like we just went and did it. Like it was so hype.
I disagree with Ben's answer, but I don't necessarily think it was more fun back then. I think both of them had their pros and cons. Back then, it was like
A Saturday
fun.
hangout.
It was fun in the fact that it was lighter. There wasn't so much weighing on it, whereas now I feel like there's a lot more to live up to each upload. And also we have more, obviously, money put into making this a good thing. So you
Right.
want it to be good. But so like I remember it being lighter and maybe more just lighthearted back then. But also I remember it being slightly frustrating
And
because
stressful, yeah.
because we just weren't really all on the same page. And it was hard to film, which is maybe why some of those weren't as good. Whereas like maybe now I would say all of us you know, understand, you know, maybe how to make a video now just because we have all done it
so
over time,
long,
and maybe we've gotten a little bit smarter over the past 7 years. You know, we can plan things out better. So in that, I remember it being frustrating because I'd be like, oh, let's do this, but everyone was just kind of like moving at 100 miles an hour, just like.
I gotta say, like, I think the whole journey to me has been like the same amount of fun. Obviously, the ups and downs of frustrations, but it's quite literally like raising a child. So you got you got a son, and you're like, I kind of miss those old days when he was 3 years old and didn't know much, and it was fun. We were just having fun. But also now he's like, let's say 10, 11, 12. Now he can kind of do things with you. You might miss the old days, but you can do a lot more now. That's kind of how it feels.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. That's a great way of saying it.
You really gotta be in the moment,
present.
be present, and enjoy the process as it goes. Because if you're not enjoying the process and you're constantly looking, which you do have to look at the next thing, but like if you're constantly doing that, it just starts to really weigh, I find.
That is like, I can't believe you said that because that's something I wanted to say. And that was like the biggest problem I had. Like, I have never been one to dwell about the past because the past you cannot change, right? Like at all, no matter what you do, no matter what you say, like nothing can change the past, but you can change the future. But the problem was I was always looking in the future. And honestly, like I didn't really realize that till I started going to like therapy. Like I used to like live in the now quite literally, not care about tomorrow. But that's not a healthy way either because I was like, future Jake's problem, right? Well, then I like...
That's a classic line of yours.
Yeah.
Future Jake's problem.
Future Jake's problem. Yeah, dude, I just remember doing that with my credit card. Just like, I wanted something, I'm like, future Jake, you are effed. Order. But yeah, it's kind of crazy to just like get pulled back in. And now having a destination of where I want to go, the goal I see is like, even if I'm taking baby steps, I know I'm going in the right path rather than just like, you're so focused on if you're on the right path to get there that like, who did that?
Who just ripped in front of them?
That was Ev, bro.
That was Mike?
What? No, that was not
Sounded
me.
like it came from.
I think it was
look,
Ev.
Ev's smiling right now. We're gonna know if it was Ev real quick. Sorry.
We all pass out.
You guys just ruined my moment.
Yeah, I was
Farting on you.
Ev, come on.
Yeah. But no,
I actually don't think it was Ev. He looks too in shock.
Big Wrench hasn't said much over there. But no, and that's like honestly one thing that's like super helped me like mentally is like, you know, you only can do today.
Yeah.
You know, and like
True.
tomorrow's
Absolutely.
tomorrow, and which is like super big. And I'm like glad I figured out now is like there is like a balance in that rather than just living in the now, literally, versus just full on future. Like just do it day by day, you know?
Yeah.
Something I've always tried to do is I've always been so proud of where we're at whenever it's been. Like when we first started, I was just proud that we had a following of 20,000 people. Like I was so stoked on that. And then 100, and then we had 1 million. And I've like tried to never compare what we're doing to anybody else or somebody else's success besides for our own, and just constantly be happy with the success but hungry for more.
Right.
And that's something that I've always tried to remind myself of, and I guess just trust the process of it.
And that was like the hardest thing for the longest time, you guys, because like I was over there and you guys are right in the back door. So, you know, like always watching, always doing this, you know, and like it's just so hard to not compare. Or I should say it
Right.
was, you know, like it was borderline impossible.
Right.
And in the mindset that I was in. And now, like, that I'm kind of steering into like a different lane, you know, as far as like my end goal or product or like where I want to do. Like my end goal, like I love entertaining, I love YouTube, but like I really don't think I'll do it forever, you know. Like I'm gonna do it as long as I can, but like I'm gonna do whatever it takes to like I want to work at Bums full time. Like I want that to be a thing, and like that was like the hardest thing for the longest time. And now I'm stoked if. Dude, I couldn't care if one person watches. Like, I just love to entertain that person. And like you said, you can't compare because guess what? There's always someone better. There's always someone with a faster car. There's always someone bigger than you. And like, it humbles you real quick, you know, and you get that. And
Yeah.
just being happy with what you have and stoked for where you're going is like the coolest thing in the world.
Did you feel like, I guess, the momentum shift of people then commenting on your videos, like comparing you to us?
Oh yeah, like we still get that now. And like the thing is, like, you guys are a whole different monster than us, you know? Like our thing is like I just want to kind of do like car content and like we host turf wars and stuff like that. And like Cody just wants to do rad dirt bike stuff, which he's freaking doing really good at. You know, he's like the only person around here to start doing backflips, which is sick.
It's crazy.
Yeah. It's awesome. And for us to do like the snorkel thing and come up with ideas like that week to week to week to week to week to week, like that's just not like, that's almost impossible for us, for just like two of us, you know?
It's damn near impossible for us.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like we're just kind of in a different caliber of like staying in our lane and trying to grow something else using this, you know, and hopefully that can attract its own audience, which we've shown it does, you know, through just people not knowing who we are. And that's what I'm mainly focused on.
Yeah.
I think there's a lesson for that, like from that to literally anyone, no matter what you're doing. Like you got to run your own race. You got to be you, you know, like you'll never be able to be a better version of somebody else. Like, and no one else will be able to be a better version of you. So like, you got to just do like, you know what, am I making sense? I guess like just, you got to run your own race and you got to do, you know, you can't be constantly trying to do what other people are doing because you'll never do it as good as them.
And
I guess
that literally was like the mindset I should say I wasn't in. And that's like literally why when we were at like 60K or 80K when I gave away my Mustang, I'm like, okay, they didn't give away a car yet. Let's give away a car. Yeah. And it was like impulsive and bad. And like, I'm lucky that it like halfway worked. Like the opening night, like it was, I should say the opening night and second night was like the biggest back-to-back day we've ever had.
Nice.
But it, obviously you guys know like numbers profitability wise, what you buy your merch for is a whole different thing. If I was doing what I would do now, we would have been awesome. But instead, me and Pat were like, yo, we just made a bag. Let's go to Vegas. So we got tickets, went to Vegas.
I love it.
That is so you.
I love it.
Dude, that was the
20
21-year-old mindset. We're like, oh my God, we're rich. And at the time I was like, I don't need to get paid back for my car. Let's go to Vegas. Like, I'll give that thing away to someone else. Make a new one another day. You know?
What's the story of Vegas? You guys won a ton of money.
We won a ton of money. And by the end of the day, we didn't have 2 nickels together to buy a hot dog, bro.
God damn.
Like opening slot, my brother pulls like $4,000. And I was like, we are in. We go buy $300 steaks, suits. He gives Pat like $250. Pat all of a sudden's up $3K on blackjack. Woo! And we're like, we are murdering it. I'm on craps, or no, not craps, roulette. And I'm like, okay, this is awesome. Like I turned, I think $100 into $1,500. I'm like, we are kings. We are awesome. Night 2, we have $16,300. We're like, roulette table, all black, baby. Let's do it.
We got to go to Vegas with you, man.
No,
you guys,
hold on, finish the story.
Okay, so how it went down, right? Everybody was so messed up. There was no turning back, right?
Classic.
Classic Vegas story. Like, you know, whatever. People make mistakes. You live, you learn on. We got lucky. So my brother is so drunk that he's got hundreds falling out of his pocket, and I'm finding him just from picking up the tray. And I'm like, this is great. You know, we are living it up. So we go to the roulette table, put in 1,000, boom, nails it, 2,000. We're like, all right, baby, let's go. All of a sudden we do 2,000, we lose it. We're like, okay, we got to do 4,000 to get it back.
Classic, yeah.
Oh my God, we lost that. We throw everything in at one time, and it hit like 10 or 12 blacks in a row, and we're like, okay, it's got to hit one of these times. We go back to the room, get more money, and we're like, all right, this is it. And we lost it all, had nothing, and then
$16,000.
Yeah, $16,300 in a night.
Jeez Louise, dude.
Dude, it was a lot of fun though. But there was like a lot of, it was like, that's the thing. Like, we came out of there pretty unscathed because the only reason we went to Vegas, we were supposed to go to Hawaii to meet up with like the go-go guys or whatever. Well, my brother calls me. He's like, hey, I'm working in Vegas. There's a flight out of Fargo 2 days before for $40. Take it. I'm like,
nice.
Yeah, we're in. And so we just started living it up, partying like animals. Like, I'd never been to Vegas like that. Like, I went when I was 15 and got robbed by a stripper. That's like the worst thing ever. But anyways.
Oh, man. That'll still happen.
Yeah. But yeah,
I
so
think that's what they are there for.
anyway, so yeah.
So, dude, I think that it's so fun when the whole gang gets back together and
man.
we can film and have a good time. And there's no like weird vibes or like two people trying to film like the same thing, which we've kind of ran into. It's like kind of weird. But now it's just like the homies hanging,
Dude,
and
especially
the vibes
after.
are there,
Yeah.
bro. It's always so fun. Like when we were jumping into the pond.
Yeah, that was a
fun.
blast,
That was so
dude.
fun, dude.
Gosh, I was in peak athletical form at that time, bro. No, it's dude, I will say it's so fun hanging out again. Like just like obviously it slowly faded away, but like that feeling was always there, and it was just like kind of iffy or whatever. And then like when we went on the boat with Ryan like a couple days ago or whatever, like the vibes are so high, and like after this, dude, I feel like it's good, and it
Peace has been restored in Cormorant.
yeah, the peace has been restored. And that's the other thing too is like I gotta say it where like I mean it, but I am sorry to you guys for the way like that everything happened. And yeah, I just definitely made my decisions out of like an emotional choice, which wasn't the healthiest. And but at the end of the day, karma kicked me and I was in the Viking costume and you guys got the Lambo. So
Well, fuck. We appreciate
Yeah, man. We love
Yeah,
you.
apology. We love you.
Yep.
He's a fucking man.
Yeah, and we have to vice versa. We're truly sorry if there's anything in that moment in time that we did to push you to make a decision like that. It's a two-way street.
yeah, no, it's
I think this is the first time we've even said that out of both ends. Like obviously both ends.
it was like
probably
there, but
owe each other an apology, but the way we operate, we just don't even need to really say it. We just kind of like, we're good now.
yeah,
We're good now. Yeah, without saying anything.
Love you, bro.
you too, man.
It's all water under the fridge now,
Yeah, I'm glad it honestly like this podcast. I'm glad that although it was a very long time before it came out. It was good that it took this long because I feel like there's just no animosity to it. There's
I feel like the emotional level.
there's
is
yeah
gone.
like no one's heated anymore. No one like there's just nothing really.
It's been 4 years.
Yeah, dude, it's been 4 years. Holy
It was
shit!
Right beginning of 20 or 3 3/4, end of 19 or
4 years. Yeah. That's crazy.
wait, I think, dude, this next year I will have been gone longer
Then you were
than
here.
when I was here.
Dude, isn't that crazy to think about, though, that we've been doing this for like 8 years?
Yeah, we're gonna come up on a decade.
I
And
know
we're like, oh, geez, man.
we really are though. I mean, as far as that goes,
And you guys feeling old?
dude.
Yeah, right now I'm feeling really old. I'm so jammed up.
I don't feel necessarily old,
Your
but
hairline does.
yeah, definitely does.
Cody's in the same boat, bro.
But-
that hat back.
Dude, Cody and I, and maybe Mike, we're going to fucking Turkey. We're getting
Dude!
hair transplants.
Do it.
They
That'd
got
be a
the
good
cheapest
video, too.
transplants
We
in
can
the
do it.
world.
Let's do
Jake
it.
will go and get a dick enlargement while he's there.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah, no, we ain't going there yet.
It is crazy though. Like, dude, like time is going so fast. Like this summer is
It's done, dude. We're gonna be
It's
on
done.
snowmobile soon.
Like I look at our video schedule. We had a meeting this afternoon. We were writing down the next however many weeks, 6 weeks, and I'm go, holy shit, we're already at the end of September. It'll be October when we finish this last. Like time flies. Like the older you get, and I don't know. I'm really trying to just start enjoying, the moment,
Yeah.
the present, because it's like you're only gonna be as young as you are today. But the beautiful thing about where all of us are at, and even Big Wrench, we don't really have to grow up.
no.
Like we will look older, but like in theory, we could kind of just you only are as old as you feel and as old as you act. You don't have to get all mature and lame. Yeah, you can be cool that's up to you.
I feel like even though our I don't want to say regular jobs, but like I feel like our dads, even though they have regular jobs, like building houses, chiropractors, seeding lawns, whatever it may be, I feel like they have the same of a little bit in them, and we kind of got that from
Young
them.
at heart.
Yeah, like they all still kind of do rambunctious stuff.
Yeah,
and they
fuck
got
yeah.
the stories of their own,
100%.
Man, I'm glad peace has been restored though, and I can't wait to like continue to do stuff with the whole gang.
Dude, it's
'Cause
fun.
I truly feel like that's like the best form of all of us.
we all are in our truest form when we
Yeah.
are together.
Yeah.
We kind of owe Dave. Well, we don't kind of. We owe Dave. I mean, we told him thank you, but thank you because when we, before we were making YouTube videos, we would always be hanging out at Dave's shop, his turfing area. And whether we were like drifting cars around in the snow, because he runs a turfing business, so he's got all this asphalt and heavy machinery that you don't want to slide into, poles, yeah. But then also like a field that we could ride in and
Right.
whatever. Like we would always be hanging out there. Like I just remember spending hours. It would be like a Friday night at like 2 a.m. We're not even like we didn't even drink at that time or nothing, but we would just be hanging out.
Snowstorm,
in your-
where we're just
in your-
rallying.
in your dad's shop. It's a used shop, so it's dirty, and we're hanging out and we did not care one bit. I mean, we'd
Losing
just
his
be
tools.
losing
doing
his
whatever.
tools. Yeah,
Gas on the floor,
Yeah.
smelling CBoys
Making-
TV,
but
lighting
like
on fire.
we were just he provided a hangout spot for us, which I think, and also it had like space for us to almost come up with these crazy ideas just out of boredom
Yeah.
that then slowly grew with us, and we went from it. I mean, if you go back, you'll see there's tons of videos of us running around Dave's shop, just whatever, and God. Fucking, we'd be misplacing tools.
Yeah. Hey, where's this? I'd be like, oh, it's in Ryan's
DC.
It's pretty nice of him to let us dumbasses hang out there and slide around. And I mean, you could have fucking hit a tractor or something. Who fucking knows?
Well, that's why he bought us dinner the other day.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
we already owe him everything. Was one more dinner?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, that was pretty cool.
We couldn't have been here without everything that has happened in your life, good or bad, in our lives, good or bad. Could have never ended up right here laughing without it. So
Yeah.
thank God it all happened. Fuck, I love you, boys.
Yeah.
Like it takes, no matter what you did, whether who you are, there's like so many factors that can be involved in how something happened, whether they were a positive reinforcing factor or a negative factor. Like there's so many ways that like it doesn't just happen by one person. It takes
it
it's
takes
a
like
tribe,
a combination
man. It's a
of
team,
people.
and or like a combination
Yeah.
of certain events and different people that and like this wouldn't have been possible without obviously everyone in this room and I
Everyone
mean
in the
plenty of more, dude.
Yeah.
Whether from fucking
Randy or your dad
Dave
or whoever.
or just Tom at the Cormorant store. It was like there's just always been so many people that were cool to us.
Yeah, dude, Tom's actually came in clutch. So we're building our shop right now, and we've been just basically filming out of his. 'Cause I got booted from my dad's, bro. Oh, did you?
So he
yeah.
finally had enough.
Oh, yeah. He's like, I'm like, you ready for round 2? Starting a new channel up. He goes, you're out of here.
Really?
No, not actually, but Tom's actually fun to film with,
Yeah.
It makes it easier because I can just leave kind of projects going.
Yeah,
and
Tom's
stuff.
a cool guy. He's into the same stuff.
Yeah.
Bro. He likes cars, dirt. He likes basically anything that's fun.
Yeah, dude, it's so funny. So like, I was building my Banshee, and then like Tom heard it, and he just went and bought one, and then for one race and sold it. Like he's heavily influenced too. He's still a kid.
Yeah, I love
Well,
that.
there you go. Tom's another example. You can fucking
Thanks,
be a
Tom.
kid at heart.
Yeah.
So what are you doing with that shop? I saw on your video or just like Instagram, like you got like some. Are you building that out right now? It looked like there was some kind of like structure being.
So
put
basically,
up in
what we're
there.
doing, I'm trying to get out of the chicken coop.
Oh man,
right.
Dave's
Yeah.
old garage.
Yeah.
bro, the coop.
The coop, so the studio or whatever. So basically, we're like warehousing everything out of there, and we've just like so outgrown it,
Yeah.
Everything's just cluttered and crammed, and so basically, we kind of building the front half into just like like kitchen area, and then there'll
Yep.
be a shower and stuff like that, and then like offices upstairs, and then a little shop area, and then we're just gonna basically build like a shipping warehouse. It's basically if you
Nice.
took this whole building and went like that and just kind of smushed it down,
Oh yeah.
And but yeah, it'll just be so much easier to work out of because then we're just straight across the road from the
Right.
field or wherever we're gonna film.
You guys are still overtaking Tom's tools and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. It's so funny. I'll be like needing something like, hey, Tom, you got a saw over there? And I'll just be, I'll let myself in.
Yeah, congrats on that. That nothing better than getting a space that you feel like you can expand in, you know?
Absolutely.
Well, dude, that was like a good feeling. It was cool, you know, like it's been such a grind of ups and downs, and finally like getting a building, and like we had so many like rental shops and stuff. It's like we're paying all this money to nothing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, whether it's storage or my dad's studio or wherever, and then like now we just have a place of our own and like can't get kicked out, you know?
Exactly, and you can do whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a major play. I mean, I don't have to tell any of us sitting here, but like for anyone back home, I mean, invest in yourself.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, big time. Like it's huge, and obviously it's a big move, but like it's needed, and it'll help, and the content to come out of that, it's going to be incredible. You know?
And I mean, if you like, the thing is too is like you outgrow that building, you go and build a new one or buy a new one, you can sell that. Like it's only
right. The money just didn't go to nowhere.
Exactly. It's not like renting where it's out the door.
Yeah.
Well, maybe one day we'll get our own C-Boys Bums line.
Dude, I can't believe you said that. I was trying, but there was not enough time. I was going to literally make like a crossover one and give you guys your each individual personalized shades. And one said like whoever's nickname would be. So it'd be like Big Wrench. I was going to put Howie on yours because your name in my phone is Howie Mandel. And
What?
dude, okay, this is
It's from
funny,
a bit.
Yeah, is a crazy long backstory, but we honestly still do it to this day. And like, I have to sometimes I'll like text CJ or whatever, but like, I convinced the people I knew Howie Mandel, and I'm just like, I'll text him right now, and then he'll like call me, and I got the Deal or No Deal picture, and it just says Howie Mandel, and he'll be like, "Sup?" and I'll be like, "Yeah, whatever." But
Like, what? You know Howie?
yeah,
Mandel?
so stupid, it's just
It is
so
really
random.
stupid,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was
But it's
random.
funny.
It was, and
we
it's
run with
still a name in my phone.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Do you feel bad about blowing up that firework directly behind Ryan?
What?
And almost losing his...
Dude, I think about that. I think about that more than one. I actually think about a lot of things that I did, and like that right there is a prime example where I was like, we gotta get some content.
Dude, that
We're
was
gonna-
one of the most savage things
Yeah.
I've ever
That
seen
thing was
you do.
loud.
Yeah, dude, and we're like, Ryan's hearing sacrifice.
No, something that he can never get back.
Yeah, and like, oh, I honestly, I really do feel bad now. At the time when Ryan was like ready to deck me, I'm just like, dude, it was funny, you know, like, don't get so mad. And now I'm just like, that was so dumb.
Ryan's hearing is easily the worst. I mean, I'm not. None of us really have that great a hearing anymore, but Ryan's is easily the worst.
And you guys keep telling me that, and I go, when? And they go, we always try talking to you, and you don't
You
listen.
hear us.
Yeah, you don't talk back.
I
got
know
the
better.
paper. And then-
You just send Mike down. It was in the other pocket.
No, it's between my legs.
Oh,
yeah, but I literally, I
Mike,
just
he
don't even
found
hear
it.
them.
Jake, one of the last memories I have of you a part of the group before you left was March of 2020. COVID happened. Oh, right?
God, dude.
Right? So the whole world is getting shut down, and we're in Cormorant isolated, and we're like,
We're good.
it ain't coming to hit us.
what do we have to worry about? We're in Cormorant. Fargo news. Uber driver gets COVID. First sighting in North Dakota. Fargo man, if you have ridden with this guy, be on lockdown. Jake is like, oh God.
I got a call from him.
I rode with that guy. Or Uber called you
Yeah,
and goes,
Uber
hey,
called
we
me."
saw that you rode with the first breakout of North Dakota this last weekend. And Jake's like, oh, shit. Because we were like, yeah, let's just hang out in Cormorant. We'll be fine. Well, Jake was chasing a chick. Fargo gets an Uber.
Girls will get you
gets
in
a call.
trouble, kids.
So Jake gets this call as we're all hanging out in like a circle
He'd
together.
already
like,
been hanging out for a couple days.
yeah. And he's like, I think he was on speaker, and they say it on speaker, and we all just look at each other, and we just start back. And there was a door that closed like the main shop area, and it had a window in it, and we just all back up through the door, shut the door. I'm pretty sure CJ already had like bleach.
I was sanitizing everything.
It was
Well, back
bleaching
then
everything
you
that-
didn't know how bad it could have been. Which I'm not saying it couldn't have been bad. Whatever. We're not going to get into that. But
At the
I
time,
was like,
yeah, we didn't
we
know
don't
anything.
need
No
to
one
get this.
knew.
Some fucking hand sanitizer, like wiping everything, and then
And we're
We
looking
call-
through the
we
window,
call Ben's
typing
mom.
messages on a piece of paper, and we just say, "You got to go home,
Jake had to go isolate for what you had to or what quarantine. as they
Quarantine.
call
I will
it.
never forget. I was just like, I felt like
Everyone else was freaking out.
Yeah, and I was like the homie that got it, you know, like I'm not
You're infected.
I'm like, yeah, like I got the thing, and I just remember CJ looking through the door, cracks it, and goes, "Sorry, bro, you gotta go." I had to go home for like 2 weeks, so I'm like not sick, playing way too much Xbox, got nothing to do. I'm like, can I just come hang out? And they're like, "Sorry, dude, probably should take precaution. You know, we don't want to get everyone else sick." And I'm just like miserable.
We were killing off the 2 weeks. You came back at the end of the 2 weeks, but yeah fuck. That was such different times. It's almost like you forget that any of that ever happened. I kind of forgot about it.
Yeah,
Isn't it weird?
Dude, there's endless and countless memories that are probably like forgotten. That's like just hilarious. Oh, good Lord, Ryan. Let's not bring up memories like that.
Which one?
I can't show the world, but
Oh, whoa. That's back in the other one.
yeah, it's in the old shop. I was looking for a video of Jake on the other side of the door and us on the other side, but I can't find it. So
Dude, it is never good to live in the past, but I do love going down memory lane sometimes. It is funny.
occasionally
funny.
get some good.
Well,
Yeah.
you kind of got to rekindle those memories,
Yeah.
because otherwise you'll forget about them. And I honestly am worried, at least speaking for myself, I oftentimes forget so much. Like, I don't even remember what we did last week because I'm so focused on doing whatever we're doing now.
Right.
We're moving at 1,000,000 miles an hour. That, you know, I hear these old guys talking about, oh yeah, I remember when we did this and we went down to this street and then they were sitting here and you got that, and
Like, how do you
know,
remember that?
Yeah, and I'm like, holy frick, I hope I'll remember these things, you know. So it's good that we bring them up.
Yeah, I like that.
It's funny, you know.
One time, we were out to eat at our favorite place called Zorba's, and they have these drinks that are like half liquor, half Red Bull, and
Serious concoction.
like a full Red Bull can.
Jet fuel.
And
Rocket.
Jake took it upon himself for some reason to drink 4?
You drank two. You tried to drink 2 in under a minute, and then you failed. So you went and got two more and tried to drink them in under a minute.
I have the video. There is 6 total, and I think that would have been the tipping point. And then you got CJ coming around the corner with 12 Yag bombs.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Jake and I drank 10 of them. Yeah, between the two of us.
It was easily the most rambunctious I've ever seen a human being.
Rambunctious.
I've never seen a human act the way that you acted. So we get Jake back to the shop, our old shop at the time, and Ryan had his F-150, and Jake was so rambunctious we had to just lock him in the back tailgate of the F-150 to just look at each other and go, what do we do with this guy right now? We're like figuring out the options, like, do we bring him home? Do we let him stay in the box? Do we put him to bed upstairs? And we're just like, what do we do? Meanwhile, he's...
I just remember you eating the $100.
Yeah, so we let him out, and it was like if you had a raccoon or a grizzly bear in a cage, and you let him out, and he just went apeshit. But you gave the grizzly bear 14 Red Bulls.
Yeah, that video.
I'm running around. He's smashing the plastic chairs. He's throwing the chairs at the wall. You're
CJ's
laying on your
iPad.
new Mustang.
No, that wasn't my iPad. I think it was Ken's.
Or
Cody's. It was Cody's iPad.
Oh, it's your iPad. Yeah, because that was the day that we got the big C-Boy sign, and I got my Mustang.
You were amped up, man.
I was jacked. Did you guys remember I like broke my wrist or hand? I showed up the next day, and you're like, what happened? I was still in the same clothes, had to be to work at
30.
5 a.m. for my dad. All that.
Oh my gosh. That is one of my favorite memories.
I have
I
the
think
video
about that
on my-
all
I got
the
'em
time,
too.
dude.
Okay.
Whenever somebody orders a trash can at Zorba's, I just
do.
think of you.
I honestly hadn't been back to there. I literally probably hadn't had a trash can since then until like last weekend. Cody put one down in front of me, and I was just like, holy, I don't want to go there again. That was...
Are you more controlled now?
I'll say like 100% for sure. But like, obviously there's like a difference. Like if we're having a bunch of fun and everyone's rallying, like I'm still me, dude. Like I still want to have a ton of fun. But like if someone's out partying on a Wednesday and like I got stuff to do, like, no, I'm going to stay home. Like I got stuff to get done, you know, where before, like if I'd work at 5 a.m. for my dad and like we were partying until 3, I was partying until 3 and I was making it to work at 5, you know, like, but it's like, it obviously isn't feasible and you have way different energy then. But yeah, I will say, cause for like the longest time I did think I had like a drinking problem or whatever. And I quit and like, it wasn't that, but, I don't know. I'd definitely say I'm definitely more controlled now and can like kind of throttle back. But yeah, before it was like all or nothing. But what do you mean? We were 19, 20, 21 having a blast, dude.
We
We were partying like rock stars.
Yeah, dude, you kidding me? You give me an 850 horsepower Mustang and a bunch of Red Bulls. What am I gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, when you bought your C6 Corvette and you were 16,
16, baby.
It's that turfing money right there.
Yeah, baby.
that was crazy.
That was like, I think that was the start.
Pop
of,
up
Yeah.
a picture.
Yeah. Oh, I got one. That's
Just imagine a 16-year-old kid that should not even be driving a Ford Focus for his recklessness and just overall decision making, and then put him in a Corvette, which was like in our eyes at the time was like the craziest
Fastest car we've ever been in.
And boy, did we find out how fast he was.
I think it's still the fastest I've ever gone in a car. 160 miles an hour.
Oh my gosh,
dude, that was the
dumb.
first thing I did. When I got the car, I came to this shop, picked up Ryan, and I'm like, let's see how fast it goes. And we loop it like right out here, bro.
Because
Right,
we
like,
were used to driving cars that when you were going to drive them aggressively, you turn traction control off.
Yeah.
yeah, you would always do that.
Yeah, you were like, this will slow us down.
No, we'd be driving, right? And we'd be driving normal, and then you see Jake's hand just slip forward and go traction control off, look over. Both of them look at make eye contact, and Jake goes, "You ready, bro?"
And then after every pull, your dad would call, "What you doing?" "Oh, nothing, just driving." "You driving nice?" Yeah, bullshit, I can hear you all the way across.
Well, dude, so that was the thing. So obviously I had to be on my dad's insurance and everything. And so like the rule was like I could get it, be on his insurance if he's allowed to put like a tracker in it, right? So it shows my speed and everything, right? So like anytime I'd get on it, it would just be like totally recorded. And I knew the phone call was coming after. But I think one of my favorite memories in that car is when I was with you and I thought I messed it up. We were driving to your dad's house and your dad was going to take a look at it, and something with like the oil pressure was going wrong. So we were going to like limp it there. And CJ's like, just take it easy, be nice. And we're just watt throttle everywhere. And he's like, you're nuke this thing, bro.
Jake had no engine remorse, or I don't even know what
Mechanical
it is.
sympathy.
If you have any sympathy or even like
No, you were a car
touch-
sociopath.
yeah, touch to like this vehicle is on its last leg. You don't have any touch that. You're like,
Let's kill
keep
it.
riding it hard.
Yeah.
Dude, you were driving your mom's Outback.
Yeah.
Blew it up.
You blew it up.
My
In the
favorite,
parking lot of the school.
my favorite feature is
Daily driver.
Yeah, just ruined her car.
Drove it for a day.
Shouldn't have shit. Had, no car to drive. I wish I had another one.
I had to put a new motor into that car, and then we ended up just ruining it anyways.
But the funny thing is the reason you got that Corvette is you wrecked your first car, which was a Jeep Grand Cherokee. You rolled it right in front of me, going back to like where you maybe used to be even slightly more or much more unpredictable. You would just like go into wild man drift mode. And so you right in front of me started drifting and then just dipped off into the ditch and rolled on the roof right in front of me.
Dude, I will never forget that because it was like New Year's Eve. It was super cold. It was -20. I'm in shorts, flip-flops, and I'm ended up in the trunk, no seatbelt on. My story to my parents is I was plugging in my phone, lost control. Yeah. But I didn't tell them until they found it. So like the Jeep was rolled. I go to the shop, get a skid steer. I'm mad. I stick the forks through the side of the door.
Yeah,
and
the Jeep was fine.
Yeah.
Like it was a little dented up, and then you totaled him.
I had to bring it back. And so I set it in the shop, and my dad calls me in the morning with a panic. He goes, "Where are you? Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm in bed. What's up?" Totally forgot I rolled my Jeep. And he's like, "Looking at your Jeep." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I hit some ice last night. I was plugging in my phone."
He's like, what, at 90?
Yeah, dude. The hood's just crushed in. There's fork holes through the side of the door.
Oh man, that was so funny. Yeah, I remember there was a point when you were trying to flip it over nicely and we weren't using like chains or any type of logic. We just used the bucket. And after a few missed ones, you just like, whoop, flip the thing over and just totaled it.
I will say that's one thing that I'm kind of sad about as I get older, but it saved me a ton of money. Is like when something breaks, I go fix it instead of just
Totaling it.
instead of just ride on it, you know. Which
I mean, like
Yeah,
what
we
a
should
normal
have-
person would
Yeah.
do.
Dude, we should have you do like a little one-on-one session with our buddy Evan.
have you haven't figured that out yet?
Wreck it all.
Wreck
Wreck it all, drive it into the ground. Jake, when I think about our early YouTube videos and what made them so special. It was the group camaraderie and everyone just having a good time and your compulsive buying and your compulsive acts. Everything that you did very impulsively, where it would half of it would happen and then the camera would capture the other half because it was happening no matter what.
Right.
But like you going to buy the shifter cart, so compulsive. And CJ was just like, no, let me come. And you were damn near down the driveway before he could jump in the back of the
You almost
truck.
didn't let me film the buying of the cart.
I do
which,
remember
like,
that.
Think about that. Like that vid was kind of like a Kickstarter.
It was a staple, dude.
You know, like it gave us that boost. But yeah, it almost yeah, because everything had to be a surprise with you. Still does.
Still
Yeah.
does, yeah.
Everything's got to be a surprise. I'm like, well, just let me in on the surprise. I'm trying to film it for the video.
Dude, the hard part is now, so like being on my own as I'm building something, I'm like, well, the only people I'm going to surprise is the audience. So yeah, I probably should show the process, you know, maybe a couple videos, you know. I'm like, I can't hide any secrets because it's me and Cody.
You ever play pranks on Cody?
What do you got one in mind, or did I do something? I don't know if I
No,
have.
but-
Pee beer prank, dude.
Oh, my
He peed in the
God,
beer bottle,
dude.
Bottle, bro.
and Cody drank it. He didn't know it was pee in there.
Dude, we can talk about this. So we were, you know, underage kids drinking root beers by a fire, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, and
as we
Very
do on
large
Friday
fire.
night. Yeah, we'd burn stuff.
yeah, dude. And anyways, Cody was like, I can beat you in a chugging contest. I'm like, no, you can't. I'm like, all right, let's do it. So he's like talking to CJ because I
Stepped
told
away.
CJ what I'm doing, and I take this bottle, pour it out, and I just fill it up, you know, with piss.
Dude, drank the whole thing.
And Cody beat me by a mile, but he drank every last drop.
There we go. There's pee. It was pee. He goes, what?
And
Throws
when
up.
he knows, he just starts yakking everywhere, bro.
There was some questionable stuff back in those early videos.
Yeah.
Between Cody drinking your pee, Ben putting his face into Ken's ass.
The sex
You know, I'm
doll
not
in
sure.
the hot tub.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. That
No, the
video's
whole
taken
video,
down now.
video with the sex doll.
Yeah.
I don't even know if we can say
Tina, we
bleep
named
the first
it, but-
part, but you know, one thing about Jake though that I've always respected is you really know how to go into a deal and kick a guy in the nuts. You know,
What kind of deal?
like that one time that we went and bought that 4-wheeler, the kid.
You guys have me so wound up. I literally almost totaled our parents.
Yeah, I know. You were stopping at green lights, driving through red lights. You were so disheveled.
I was just distraught. Well, you guys were not.
You gotta
helping
fill
my
the
case.
backstory.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
so we're looking for a 4-wheeler to buy, and this Can-Am pops up a couple
You
hours
gotta fill
away.
the story in before that though. So Jake was always buying stuff because he had excess money because he worked the turfing job and would get paid more money than the rest
Why
of
is
us.
he
getting
125 and
Paid
stuff I
$10
didn't?
an hour. He was probably making 20, and
Yeah, so
he was working more. But he
Jake
had
was
money.
always buying
He was
toys.
buying stuff, and he'd
Always
always be
buying
like,
stuff.
"Yep, kick that guy in the nuts. Got it for a deal." That was always the thing. Like whether it was the 4-wheeler or snowmobile, he kicked somebody in the nuts and got a hell of a deal. And we're always like, "Man, he is so good at getting deals." So it was time to go and pick up these 4-wheelers or one of these one quad off of Facebook Marketplace, and we were like, "Jake, you got to come with because you got to kick this guy in the nuts. You know what you're doing."
going in like, dude,
We're gonna film
you
the
take
process.
reins.
You take the reins.
So we get into this deal, right? And we're just like following.
We're just
CJ's got the
stepping back.
camera, and we're like, let the master work. Let him cook. Let him cook, right? And Jake walks in there, fresh off us hyping him up, right? And we're like, God, I'm excited to see the process.
Yeah, we're gonna
of this.
finally see him kick someone in the nuts.
We show up, and Jake is like looking at this thing, literally like kicking the tires, walking around, and he's like,
He takes his finger out, puts it in the exhaust,
Swabs it.
smells it, and he goes,
and we're watching, and we're like, holy shit! So this is the process.
Yeah.
No wonder why he gets the deals. He's picking this thing apart, and he's asking all these questions. And he's like, "How are the rings?"
These guys aren't buying it for a second. They're just like,
Filter
is this guy
looks-
an idiot?
The filter looks a little oiled. He's smelling it. Oh yeah, this right. And he finally goes, "All right, man, wanted $5,000 for it. Let's do 35." He's like, "Nah, 5."
Yeah, the guys
All
are not buying for a second. They're just looking at you. It became awkward. Like I think we stepped in. We're like, all right, this is just kidding. Awkward. Jake taking the reins.
$4,000. That's the best I can do. And he's like, "Well, I mean,
$5,000.
I'm selling
Take
it for
or leave
$5,000."
Yeah.
So, and finally, Jake's just like, "Fucking hey, dude. all right, fine.
So he did not get the deal.
$5,000, man. All right, Jesus. And we're standing there at this point, and we went in like, and then it just ended like this.
We load that thing up, hop in the car, and we are all just
Rolling,
hooting and hollering. We were laughing so
we
hard.
kept going. What did it smell like?
I literally almost
like?
hit a car, stopped at every green light, pulled into where were we going? Red
Lobster, dude.
And you guys were like, "You gonna try and get a deal for the lobster too?"
Dude, we were in tears. Dude.
We're sitting at Red Lobster crying. Thank God it was only us and the subs that were next to us.
showed
They had
up.
to be like, man,
So
what is going on
funny,
with
dude.
these guys?
Oh my god.
Oh, dude. Yeah, so when I saw you driving to Texas or flying to Texas to drive this car back, I was like, man, that poor Texan, dude. He probably got kicked in the nuts.
Dude, oh my god. I can make some deals, boys, but when we roll deep, it's hard.
Yeah, when you roll deep with the camera.
Yeah, bro, you got a camera rolling deep. He's got something to prove too.
That shit was funny.
Oh,
it's
so
good
funny,
times.
bro.
That is so funny, dude. I think one thing, this is just kind of going back to the college thing, but I think one thing I missed and totally love is all the stuff that happened that is just like total viral worthy that didn't get caught on camera, such as like swapping the projector when we were swiping Tinder. Like I found that thing, put it on TikTok, and it like instantly hit 4 mil.
Really?
Damn.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I don't know, just like the rambunctiousness that we all did in college was just kind of, it was a milestone for sure.
Everything was fresh and new. You had so much energy going into filming, you know? It was just like you were just I don't
Every
know,
time we
can't
did
be
something with something
20.
new.
exciting. It was a tornado, yeah.
Yeah.
Still is,
We were
but
talking
yeah.
about this yesterday, actually. I don't even remember. I don't think we were filming this, but remember when we were at Sane's shop with all the snowmobiles, and you thought it'd be a good idea to grab a fire extinguisher off the wall and
of 'em.
spray it. Oh, 2 of them, 2 fire extinguishers, and spray it everywhere in Sane's shop. Cleared all of us out, and you're standing there.
Party was over after that. Dude, no. So what? Jay came up to me and he's like, "Hey, if you do it, I'll do it." And
Our
I'm
buddy
like-
Jay.
Our buddy Jay. Yeah.
Manaberry.
Jay Manaberry. He's like, "If you do it, I'll do it." I'm like, "Well, if you're going to do it, I have to do it." And so I just grabbed it, didn't think twice. He didn't even pull his pin, dude. I just cleared everyone out. And then G-Reg came in with me at 7 in the morning and we cleaned his whole shop. I felt pretty bad.
I think that's the only time I've ever seen Sane Skinner actually even remotely upset.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I mean,
mean,
those fire extinguishers make a mess.
Yeah,
I
they
remember
do.
one time you sprayed me right in the face with it, Jake.
Yeah.
Yeah,
dude,
that
puked
was
everywhere.
a deep bottle night.
That shit really like takes the saliva out of you.
You know, now that I'm thinking about it, aren't you guys just like a little happier that I'm like more mature and just don't fucking do shit like that anymore? Like Ryan's hearing's better and
no, the only
That's
thing I'm
fair.
happy about, Jake, is that we don't have you and Evan on the same payroll. Because we would be so ungodly broke. Like, dude, we would be just like, I can't even imagine. And it is fun. It is fun to get you two all revved up because you both have like the same very impulsive behavior and like the no care.
Energy, yes.
Yeah, which is super entertaining, obviously, on the standpoint of like content and just being your friend, right? But then when you got to cut the check for it at the end of the day, you know a little bit more now. It
Yeah.
hurts.
Oh, it hurt, dude. That's the thing. Like, yeah, when I was cutting my own checks, I'm like, does it really cost that much? Like, are you sure? Like, oh, it's terrible. And
No, but it's all for the greater good.
yes,
Yeah.
Dude, so we give Evan a hard time. We gave you a hard time for it, but like at the end of the day, we don't care. It's just funny to laugh about.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, it is funny. So like we go back to that bike bit where we were jumping the BMX bike into the pond. When I chopped that together, it was like you never left, and it was interesting because I feel like in your videos you're kind of running them and you're talking to the camera, you're doing the explanation. But then when you came back and were in our vid, you went right back to that role of like you were just fucking this goofball. You were being reckless, this impulsive, funny. You were saying the funny stuff, and like not that you don't do that now,
No.
but like you went back to that same character, and it was just like literally like nothing ever changed.
it's funny you say that. And like when I first felt that was Justin's bachelor party. Like when we all
that
hung
was
out
fun too.
time.
for like, and like the camera came out, like it just felt like normal. Like you could just do what you want. And you know, the thing is like when the camera comes out, obviously we are who we are, but you turn it on a little bit, you know,
Yeah.
like you're filming, you turn it up, and like when there's something funny to be had, you do it.
Yeah.
Right.
You
know,
know, Cheddar was out that weekend.
And
Yeah.
too.
there always there is
On a worse
something.
behavior.
There is like it is. I mean, you can probably attest to this. When you're not necessarily having to worry about the shot or any of that, and you get to live in that moment and like be present, and then make the like you're like, oh, perfect, I can make a joke here, or whatever. There's like something that almost like it takes a pressure off that makes you do better on that side.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. When you're not having to like worry, and it's kind of cool too, because like it made me.
You've been on both sides.
Yeah,
now.
it makes me feel for like the cameraman to just wait. You know, like
Yeah.
no reason of like ruining it or whatever. But I don't know. It's fun because like I am that person, and like now I have my feet under me, and it's just like it feels so good to like be able to come hang out and just do whatever we do, you know, and then like be able to have something of like my own to like
More of the full package.
right, exactly, and like I don't know, it's cool, but yeah, I will say when we all get together. Freaking hands off, bro, because it's like it's so fun. It is. We have a blast.
All right, bro. Well, I think we've been going for almost 3 hours.
Yeah, we did our
3 hour
longest
mark.
podcast.
crazy.
This is
3
the
hour
longest
mark.
podcast.
Okay.
And honestly, I feel like we could
coulda
go for
kept
another
going.
3
Yeah.
hours. But like the door is always open. You know, you're one of our best friends. We love you, and I'm so glad that we've rekindled this. Everything that happened for a reason. But we are, back to where you're always welcome over here. And I'm so excited to have you in future videos,
It's gonna be so fun.
be in your future videos, and have you
Absolutely.
on the podcast, because I'm sure people loved you and are stoked for more. So
Yeah, and if there was any questions we didn't answer, I guess just throw them below so we know.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
if I was gonna say, if you're not already subscribed to Jake's channel, Jake Sherbrooke on YouTube, Jake
Thank you.
Sherbrooke on Instagram, all that, we'll put it down in the description.
Bums eyewear.
Go check out
Yeah, baby.
go check out all his stuff, and I think that's it.
Yeah.
See you guys next week.
Peace.
Until next time.
Yeah.
that's a wrap.
Sweet boys.
Oh, yeah, that's lit, dude. That was lit.
That was lit.